Welcome to Hip Hop Talks, where we believe that the world is still yours. Sean, AG, how we doing?
How's it going, bro?
Doing
Say
good.
in the A.
It's going down here,
Yeah.
You know, forget all that. Y'all took too long. The meteorologists down here are getting paid six figures, well over six figures. They are only right about 30% of the time. I would like to have a job making six figures where I could be right about 3 out of every 10 times and everybody will still love me, flock to me. I'll be the center of attention and I can be wrong. There ain't been nothing windy yet, and I live close to Windy Hill. There ain't no fucking wind going on.
But it says later on tonight, though.
It's
Because
8:30. It's 8:30. The Cowboys are about to choke up another game.
Facts.
It's about that time. It's about that
So,
time. Yeah, your team sucks. This comes from a Panthers fan.
right.
It's not too often. It's not too often. Our team's got the same record.
Yeah, Coop, you ain't even here for me last week because I thought we was gonna win that game. The Raiders gonna win against y'all last week, so I went quiet. I ain't had nothing to say.
We got the redhead rocket, professional NFL quarterback. Not somebody who's roughly our height and our size playing quarterback, which I always said was going to be a problem when you don't have an offensive line, defensive line, running back, wide receivers, linebackers, secondary, competent ownership, thorough coaching. Yeah, you pretty much need a professional NFL quarterback to survive in the NFL. And then when you don't have any of those things and you insert a rookie, you get, what happened to Bryce Young on top of that and being slight of frame. So that's how that started. But since we're on the NFL topic, gentlemen, just real quick, has we this is the start of week 4? Is this the start of week 4, right?
Yeah, start of week 4.
Okay, so as we approach week 4 of the season, who are your NFL MVP candidates again, gentlemen?
Nah, see you doing this to mess with me because I said Burrows today.
You said who? You said who?
I said Joe Burrow, and yeah, they're ass, bro. Like Cincinnati is down bad.
On AG, I don't know why you're talking still. You picked Joe Burrow. We're talking about MVP. We're talking about MVP, and you picked Joe Burrow. You should have said I picked Joe Burrow, and I don't have anything to add to this conversation. Sean,
you did pick Joe Burrow, though. You did, and you said it proud too.
You did.
I did.
You said Joe Breezy. Yeah, you're like Joe Breezy gonna get him. Like who's Joe Breezy?
You're gonna stand up straight for 16, 17 games. Sean, who'd you pick?
I had Mahomes.
Okay. You know who I picked, right?
Who did you pick?
I picked Josh Allen, the guy who actually looks like the NFL MVP.
Oh, he'll taper off. He'll taper off.
He always does. He always does taper off.
Okay. 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 Yeah. No, just remember we were here as we enter into week 4. That's all I wanted to talk about. Yeah. So let's actually kick off the show. Hip Hop Talks is going to present our hot topics for the day. So let's talk with Jay's casino bid. Fellas, I'm going to start with you, Sean. Talk to me about Jay's casino bid. Talk to me about what this means. Let's talk about this like hip-hop wise. Let's talk about this socially. Let's talk about this economically.
Yeah. He's a businessman. I'm not surprised by this. Nas got into the casino thing in Queens. Queens get the money. It was only a matter of time for Jay to get his stuff in the ring as well when it comes to stuff like this. Building that portfolio, having that team around him to look at it, investing in something like that. The bid is pretty big. So I'm not surprised by this at all. There's a great chance he's going to get it. The people that Jay rubs elbows with, those guys are very aggressive when it comes down to just investments and getting their hands into different things. This is another piece to Jay's portfolio. This is something that he's been trying to do for years. And now I guess he's got to get everything back in motion. Not surprised by this at all. Politics as usual, businessman.
Are we privy to how much stake he actually has in these matters?
That's the thing. They never release it. They never release that information. It's no different than Brooklyn Nets. He got like a 0.01.
Right. Cause he owned 1% of the team, didn't he?
Yeah. And it kind of a minority owner or something like that.
But he was used as a front man and to the advantage of ticket sellers because selling, the Brooklyn Nets in Brooklyn and having Jay-Z aboard is a very, very big deal in Brooklyn. So he was pitched as having a larger stake in the team than he actually did.
Yeah, he met Usher. Usher had it too.
Okay. Don't remember Usher being a part of that at all, but whatever.
Yep. Yeah, he was part of that as well for Brooklyn, the Brooklyn Nets. Yeah.
Okay, so no word. So AG, what say you about Jay's casino bid?
I like it, because we get to have a little bit more friendly Jay-Z and Nas competition because they're both, going for the bids in New York. If I'm not mistaken, it's only three casino licenses that can be in New York City, and it's they're both vying for that last license that's up. So Nas and his team of investors as well as Jay. So it'd be dope to see. Either way it goes, it'll be good. For the economy is going to bring a lot of people to that casino. So I mean it's going to be a moneymaker regardless. So Jay's and his team's bid's pretty hefty. So like Sean said, he got a good chance at getting that. But as far as the resume as what each casino would bring, I thought both of them, the Nas one and the one that Jay's a part of, look pretty good. So I'm just interested to see how it all pans out, man. Do either one of y'all do the casino thing often?
Not really. I'm not into casinos.
Not often.
Yeah.
Really?
Not
I
often.
like them. I like the environment. You know what I'm saying? I like the atmosphere of it, and it's pretty cool. I'm not like a big time gambler, but you know what I'm saying, just to chill, kick back or whatever. You know what I'm saying? And my girl, she years ago, she used to manage inventory for a casino and stuff. So it's it's pretty dope. You know what I'm saying? Dope spot. We got a few here in West Virginia. Sean probably doubted that, but we got a few.
Damn. That's crazy. They're
dog tracks, you know what I'm saying? Dog race and all that. You know what I'm saying? Big crowd bets. What's that?
Rocks and limestone. Money. That's your currency, rocks and limestone. Respectfully.
Yeah, it's wild.
First of all, I hope that Jay gets this bid, just like I hope Nas gets and their investment team gets their bid, because what it means is that it's jobs to be had. And I hope that both of them as entrepreneurs look in their respective community first as far as supplying a lot of those jobs. What makes a lot of towns go? I mean, Sean, you know this from having been to the West Coast multiple times. I know this from having lived on the West Coast. Oh, casinos keep communities alive in certain areas, and so I look at this economically as a really big deal in terms of the ability to actually provide jobs. As long as we're providing jobs, on some for us, by us type of program, and not like on the title program where it's like, well, the artists are black, but 90% of who's working behind the scenes is white. I would like to see kind of a reversal and like to see an influx of black, Afro Latino, African American, even all the Hotep ass Kendrick fans are welcome to get a job.
Help it.
They need jobs too. Hoteps needs jobs too. You have to buy incense.
You can't help
You have
it.
to buy grandpa papers, candles,
Yo, man.
Ouija boards. You have to
That's
buy those things.
that's wild.
That is
So
wild.
we're gonna slide to the next topic, gentlemen. But shout out to Jay and the casino bid. We all do hope that it goes through, because all jokes aside, it is an opportunity for for empowerment in terms of the economy.
But real quick, Coop, I think it's only one license available left in New York. So I think they're competing for the same casino license.
Oh,
so
well, I'm petty. Jay's always trying to jack something from Nas. I hope he loses. Next topic. All right, glad we got this out the way. More somber news. The young Dolph murder trial. I guess a portion of it, Sean, has concluded. James Johnson has been sentenced to life without parole. Is that correct?
That is correct. That is correct.
I mean, it began when earlier this week?
Yeah. Kicked off earlier this week.
It began on Monday, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, it's Thursday. It's Thursday. They're putting people away for life without parole already in 3 days.
Yeah.
Historically speaking, in terms of legal terms, as it's been told to me by lawyers, the quicker that people are coming back, the guiltier you look.
Yeah.
So the fact that this started on Monday and on Thursday, we are having, this conversation about somebody already being convicted is a pretty big deal. There are also some implications that Yo Gotti's brother is the one who is responsible for putting the order out to make sure that Dolph is no longer with us. So, how are we all feeling like that? AG, I'm gonna start with you.
From what I read, I think it was the hit was what, like $800 or something allegedly. So
That's the money. No. That's the money that they received. That's not what they were promised. That's what they
oh
received.
yeah, you're right. You're right, because that's all he got, but he was promised, more, but all he received was 800. But I'm not really one to speak on street shit too much. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, you know, justice for what I'm saying, young Dolph. You know what I'm saying, and his murder. You know what I mean? So sad that he, had to be taken from here in 2021. And, it seems like it's getting resolved now and coming to a close. So I'm just glad it's justice in that regard. You know what I mean? But it's some lot of greasy shit going on. But, I don't like to speak on that.
Yeah, for sure. I was heavy when I heard this, man. As everything started unfolding, the details and what was, said and what was alleged, what was corroborated, I felt heavy because it's a classical niche when we talk about, watch them that's close to you. And they were showing the pictures of, the killer with him in the same picture. And we hear this all the time. And sometimes you can become part of your environment, or you can get out of your environment and become something greater or something different, something better. And it's almost damn if you do, damn if you don't. You leave the hood, you leave where you're from, you consider the sellout. You consider someone that turned your back on the hood. But you stay there and try to pump positive things into the hood or to where you're from, and now they're taking you out. And I don't want to go further than that because again, that's Memphis stuff. I'm not from there, not from around there. Shout out to Memphis, shout out to my people in Memphis. But it's a sad situation because you lost two people on both sides. You know what I mean? You lost Dolph, and then they came back retaliated, and Young Gotti lost his brother as well, who was the antagonist, right? So it's just one of those things that, man, it's sad. It's a heavy situation. Heavy situation.
I'm gonna get to a couple of super chats, and then I'm gonna, comment and say a couple of things before we move to our next segment. CJ the Kid with the $20 super chat. What up, CJ? I just met Prestige, who produced Notorious, Dreams, and Imaginary Players. He said the only thing he sampled was the hook and replayed everything else. Coop, you sat with the mayor. I sat with the guy who made Imaginary Players. First of
Tell
all,
him about spit his drink out.
right. I thought that's hilarious. I mean, first of all, I sat with the mayor in a caravan on the way to a house in Brookhaven for an entertainment law firm mixer. So, but I feel you, CJ. I like the power moves that you making, CJ. I feel you.
Jay
CJ
doing.
Get again with the $5 suit chap. I only say that because Imaginary Players is a top 5 J track for you, Coop. LOL. It's actually top 3 for me. That's one of my 3 favorite J records. Actually, I actually listened to Imaginary Players this week too. I love that record. Okay, back to the Dolph thing. It's like both of you said. A lot of this is unfortunate and unnecessary animosity. Is really like my overall thoughts on this. Unfortunate and unnecessary. Like all these pieces are close to home for each other, so it makes you wonder what really happened behind the scenes in terms of what went wrong. Dolph is no longer with us. Um, Gotti's brother no longer with us. So a lot of it is left up to speculation to people who already know. And we're not in the know to speak on it, quite frankly. And when it comes to matters like this, and when it comes to Memphis, what you don't know, you shouldn't speak on.
Right.
Absolutely.
So, with that being said, I think we should transition to something a little bit less problematic, but that depends on how you look at things. Because, well, Cardi has kind of been insinuating on the internet that she has had an affair on Offset for all his years of cheating, and has even gone as so far to insinuate today that there may have been something that took place with a deceased member of Migos and Takeoff. It's the definition of nasty work, gentlemen. And since it is the definition of nasty work, we're going to go to Sean because he knows.
What? AG is the way. This dude be dodging bullets, man. He's the one.
Honey Pack Sean, you're up the bat.
Wow. That's good. I just had a conversation about that.
I'm sure you're gonna hit a grand slam.
I'm not. This is nasty, man. This is disgusting. Like real talk. When I start reading this, I'm like, yo, I need to go take a shower. This is nasty. Like, and they're putting all this stuff all on Twitter, on social media. Like, hey, Lo said, man, keep us out the chat. Keep us out the chat because we don't need to be seeing this. This is crazy. If Shorty was messing with, you know, his cousin, deceased cousin, or whatever, that's nasty within itself. He was doing his thing, she's doing her thing. They got kids together. So much is going on. It's a mess, man. I don't even want to go down that road with this one, Coop. I'm not gonna lie. This is I hate seeing stuff like this. It makes you cringe at the things that they're saying. The retaliation from her, retaliation from him. It's just nasty work, man. I think our expert in that area, AG, may have a better way of addressing something like that than I can. I'm a gentleman. I don't even know how to even speak on this kind of stuff, but this is nasty.
Sean, no, AG, before you start, Sean, first of all, you're more of a scholar than a gentleman. That's for damn sure. And the only person who's allowed to be passive aggressively passing off the baton on the show is me.
You got a point. I just I like the messy stuff. I'm not into gossip stuff. So hard for me to speak.
This isn't gossip. She literally just insinuated. It's not like somebody said she said. She came out and said, "Man, I miss those nights late night with him." With the little emoji. Did you see the little emoji, nigga?
I don't even know what emojis really. I'm 44. I'm a thug. I don't know what emojis are. I don't do emojis.
What is this? A trick daddy?
44 thug. I tell you what. I know. Because if we all caught a bid together, we know who's gonna take the plea deal. Like you passed the mic to Sean, he automatically started throwing darts at me. I'm just sitting here chilling.
I'm like, look, dude from West Virginia is guilty. That's
crazy. That's crazy. But anyway, I'm actually with Sean on this one, man. I ain't got too much to say. Is one, ain't nothing like a woman scorned. That's one. And then two, it's even more nasty work just because Takeoff is not here to confirm or deny or speak on, you know, his side of things. So just to insinuate that is kind of wild, whether true or false, you know, in the statement. So nah.
Yeah.
It's nasty work.
It is.
But yeah, ain't nothing like a woman scoring, man. For real.
Well, actually, AG, you agree with Sean, which I usually find that to be unfortunate. But in a way, I guess we're kind of all on the same page because AG, I actually agree with you. Like when I actually saw this, I was actually at work when I caught what happened today. And I really said to myself when I read what she said, I was like, hell hath no fury like a woman scorned.
Yeah.
When a woman feels a certain type of way, she will ruin you. She will run and tell her friends that you have the smallest dick of all time. She's like, in the history of dick, this is the smallest dick of all time. She will. Oh, are the kids watching? They will. When they mad, it's a wrap. When they mad, it's a wrap. It could wrap around your neck. She's like, it looked like a cocktail shrimp that had been in cold water for 15 minutes.
Cool.
That's way too specific.
Okay. I'm just telling you how they be.
It's a triggering topic for Coop.
It's not a triggering topic for me. Everybody knows that all the women are. Never mind.
What's next on the docket, man?
This thing just took him to a whole different place.
I know you're not talking honey pack, Sean. You don't get to talk about taking it to a different place.
Well, we're teammates. What we doing? What we doing?
We're teammates.
You know what? Sometimes I pass you the ball. Sometimes I don't. This ain't one of those times. On to the next topic.
Oh,
Future is on track to actually debut at #1 on the charts with Mixtape Pluto.
Yes. Yes.
Have you all heard Mixtape Pluto?
most definitely.
I have. Yes.
What are your thoughts on Mixtape Pluto, and what are your thoughts on Future taking the #1 spot for what I would believe would be the 11th time with
Yes.
Mixtape Pluto?
Yes.
Scheduled to move about 120,000 units between these crooked ass streams, these crooked ass sales, these crooked ass people. AG, let's go.
I love it. I like the album. I won't say it's better than We Don't Trust You, but I do like the album. You know, a handful of the joints I keep going back to, like MJ is one of my joints. Lost My Dog, Teflon Don. Yeah, I mean Lil Demon, yeah, that's the joint. Lil Demon is probably my favorite on the album, actually. I mean, he got some joints on here. Yeah, I mess with it. I've been running the album back.
Yeah. I like Teflon Don as well. I keep finding myself going back to Plutowski. I don't know why, man.
That's the one I don't like on the album. I skipped that one.
It's catchy. That Plutowski is catchy, man. Like, I don't know why I kept listening to it, man. It fit my theme this week. So here's the thing. I don't think that he did anything on this album to make me say that he had a grand slam. I think it was a solid effort. I don't think it's out of this world. I don't think it's something that I'll, continue to go back to. I think it just pretty much him saying, okay, I'm here. That's it. Nothing tells me about this album that's saying that Future is still one of them. I think Future is who Future is. He's a dope artist. He up the ante. A lot of kids out here. A lot of the Futures out here. Solid effort. I can't say nothing more than that. It's a solid effort.
I'm surprised that neither one of you highlighted the fact that he did this entire project by himself. There are no guest appearances.
Mm-hmm.
True. Yeah.
When's the first time you heard Future? What, 2009? Maybe before?
A little bit before.
I would say 9 or 10.
Yeah.
9 or 10?
Yeah.
To be 14, 15 years in and to be able to make a quality project where you take the onus of all of the rhymes and all the songs on by yourself. When our more traditional, quote unquote, lyricists do this, we bow at their feet when they make a project like 15 years in, where they're by themselves and they're pretty much in whatever it is their creative bag is. And that's what this album is. This is Future's creative bag. Like, this is where he's most comfortable and where he thrives. I do like the album. I think that this is one of those albums. I've only listened to it all the way. I'm in the process of my second listen right now because just off the vibe and who Future is, well, you'll listen to some shit from Future that's good. After you hear it one time and be like, man, it's the best turn up album I've ever heard in my life, nigga. You know? Like, he'll give you that feeling the first time around. So for me with Future, it's always about what songs are going to actually stick to your ribs. And so I'm in the process of finding that out. But I did find this to be an impressive project, Sean. I echo your sentiments, and you're totally right. He didn't necessarily do anything new here, but he did do it well. He did do it by himself. That's almost like, when a power forward has been in the league 15 years. And like, man, it's like this nigga 15 years in, he's still averaging 20 and 10. So I kind of got to give him credit for that. It's not like the year that he averaged 27 and 15 and 4 assists and 3 blocks and 2 steals. It's like, well, those days are probably gone, but it's like for who he is and for what he's done and this type of project and the way that it's put together, I am overall impressed with it. He is Future, so production wise, he's going to get the best of the best production. It's just about the redundancy of it because of the subject.
Yes.
And that's what I mean about the ones that stick to your ribs. It's like, well, when he jumps into that bag, it's definitely not a new bag anymore. He got so many kids now. So many kids have jumped in the bag and created their offshoots of what that bag looks like. What does it look like when the originator of the bag jumps in that bag? It's like, so probably going to be some highlights, But my overall thought and synopsis, really, after listening to it, is that I like the project, and I'm so tired of saying this because I've said it since I've been doing podcasting for 4 years now, more than I've said anything else. It's too long. It should have been less songs on here because I feel like the impact of the album would have been greater if this 16 track project was 12.
Yeah, maybe EP as opposed to a full length.
If this was an EP, it'd be crazy. And it would need to be a 7 or 8 song EP because I do like some of the joints on here. But it's like when I listen to this album, I'm like, just off the melodies of the style of beats that he chose, it's like, oh, you couldn't have taken 12 of these instead of 16 of these? You had to keep 16 of these melodies?
Yeah.
No, I could have kept 12 of those, and the impact of it would have been stronger because it would have been a more condensed and more concise project. And when you're more of an elder statesman role, even if you are a legend, I find it's better to make a concise project when you're fresh out the gate and you have everything in the world to rap about and nobody knows who you are. It's a wise idea to make a concise project then. So when you are 15 years in and you are a legend, it is even more apropos to actually make that type of album. And this album is borderline that, but not quite that, which is why this album is really good, but not like necessarily great. And I'm worried about the staying power depending on how these next couple listens go.
Right.
Yeah, I'm glad you said that, Coop, and you too, Sean. The main problem with this album is the redundancy of it. But to your point, Coop, this is his third project this year. So it's no reason why he couldn't have cut this down to a more concise project, 11 or 12 joints, because we've been hearing from you all throughout the year. So, that's a valid point.
Well, also let's highlight the fact that we highlight how Nas made 6 albums in pretty much
3 years.
2 years.
3 years, yeah.
Like 2 and 3/4 years, right? It's like this is his third project this year.
Yeah,
he's 15 years in, and this is his third project this year. We don't trust you. It's still a top 10 album this year. Is it still in our top 10?
Which project?
We don't trust you. Part 1.
Yeah.
I think it should. I think it should.
Trust you.
Nah, that to me that's more R&B vibe, but
it is R&B.
The first joint I think is towards the end of 10, towards the bottom.
But it's still a quality enough project to be mentioned in the top 10. So it's like
correct. Yeah, and this one is not that. I don't think it's as good as We Don't Trust You at all.
No, right. I don't believe that either.
But I tell you what messed me up though, Coop. Excuse me. What messed me up though, and I'm like you, I've listened to it twice within the last couple of days, running it back, and I got more respect for it, and I was vibing with it more. But the first night I listened to it after MC Lyte dropped a new album, so I'm probably dating myself as an old head, but MC Lyte dropped a new album, and I checked that out, and then listened to the mixtape Pluto, and that's a hell of a transition, palate cleanser. You can't listen to them 2 joints back to back, so it kind of threw my ears off a little bit, you know what I mean, just because listening to MC Lyte's album before, which I thought was a solid effort too, but I wouldn't recommend listening to that back to back.
That's like taking cocaine and then doing a muscle relaxer. AG, we need to get the AJ. Has an AJ Snow? Is Snow in the building?
Not yet. I'll let you know when he pull up. He's not here yet.
Okay. Anything to get AG off whatever that was.
That's a good point, because I was listening to AJ Snow back and forth on my flights this week and going back and forth to Future, and the contrast is crazy. And I was AJ music for me was, I needed that music as I was flying. I'll be honest, because I told you guys I was all over the place this week since Monday, and listening to AJ album kind of helped me ease a little bit, especially coming back to the East Coast today because of the weather, and I just needed something to keep me mellow, and listening to AJ joint, that whole album is a vibe, man. So when he get in here, we'll talk about it, but our whole album is a vibe, man. You got John Sport Jay on there. You guys know who John Sport Jay is, but it just felt good to have that kind of music, that contrast from Future to an AJ Snow. You listen, like you said, AG, and even when you Coop, it's felt so many times, shout out to Future, but there's many times you can talk about a shorty, you know what I mean? In so many different ways, right?
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing. I think what's really happened in this generation, and we can debate endlessly whether it's for better or for worse, is that the vibe music regionally is actually at an all-time high. It's at its zenith.
Yes.
Like if the
Get
wave
it.
that you ride, like fits in your region, you can like have your whole region like a Larry June, like an AJ Snow, and just make that like a currency.
Absolutely.
Like a Future. It's like when I listen to the Future, it's like, oh man, it's like I totally am gonna like work out and go run to this. You know?
Yeah.
When I'm listening to the AJ Snow, it's like I'm totally about to smoke a cigar, sip a banana cognac, and have an Uber XL take me to my closest cigar bar.
Said
While
banana
I put on my
cognac.
smoker's jacket.
Women love banana cognacs. AJ Snow just pulled up.
Not doing it for them. Nobody cares about them.
You know what I'm saying? That's what they drink.
That's
Women drink banana cognacs, but
That's
who am
them.
I to tell you that? It's for
First of
AJ.
all, the question is that why do you know that, Sean? That's the real question.
Yeah,
That's the real question. AJ, what up? What up, fam? How are you, sir?
Man, what's up, fellas? How y'all doing?
Was
it's
good.
good.
Welcome to Hip Hop Talks, man. We wanted to thank you for coming on. We all are fans of your new project, The Game Don't Deserve Me. And we just wanted to sit down and chop it up with you for a minute. I'm gonna let Sean take over and kick it off.
I appreciate you guys too. Thanks for having me.
Bro, thanks for coming up, man. We appreciate you. We were bumping your music. We couldn't wait to get you up here. We talked about this about 2 weeks ago. So thank you so much for taking out the time of your schedule to come and rock with us tonight. We just want to get to know you more. We want the audience to get to know you more. We want to put your music in our rotation on station here so we can run them streams up on your new project and your other projects as well. So we want to get to know who AJ Snow is, man. Can you tell the audience, those who need to get re-familiar with you, can you tell them who you are?
Man, so I'm AJ Snow. I was born in Dallas, Texas. Grew up in Springfield, Illinois. After school, I moved back to Texas, and that's where I really just was just pushing the music grind out there. Traveling around the country, and then relocated out to LA. Been out here for a couple years, and just been on the music grind since then. So yeah.
Sir. The new project is out. What inspired the title, The Game Doesn't Deserve Me? What inspired that title, bro?
Man, it's I think moving out to LA, you definitely you learn it's a lot of smoke and mirrors out here. And you just you learn just man, you just see it and just see how the Hollywood shit is. And it's just I always felt I always believed I don't really I don't need I just need the fans. I just need the supporters. So it's just man, the game don't deserve me. It's man, I'm not about to play that game that y'all running over there. I'm gonna keep doing my thing over here. I'm gonna keep living my life. I'm gonna keep learning. And yeah, I'm just gonna keep making dope shit.
Can you tell us some of the themes that you explored in this project?
You said some themes?
Yeah, what are the themes of this project like? What was your approach to creating this album?
I think the biggest thing that really inspired this one was I've been this past year, I've been very blessed. I've been, was able to be in the studio with Nas. I've been, being around Hit Boy, being around Alchemist, Dom Kennedy, and being able to grab, knowledge and pieces from them. And it's cool. It was man, it's great to know I got relationships with all these guys, or I know, they know these guys, but it was just nothing's ever gonna get handed to you. You know what I mean? So I feel like this album was kind of really my reintroduction of man, this is AJ Snow, because a lot of people knew me because of me working with Jansport J, and that's my dog. But I felt like it was kind of like a chip on my shoulder to show, because a lot of people didn't see me, what I was doing, touring with Larry, 2019, 2020, and they didn't see all the stuff I was doing before then. They just see me where I was at at that point in my career. So it was really like a big chip on my shoulder to really show like, nah, like I'm really here to stay, you know?
Mm.
Yeah, peace, AJ. We're glad to have you on the show. Can you please tell the people how this new project differs from your previous work?
So this one, um, from The Game Don't Deserve Me to Let's Get Rich, I feel like me and Sport, like sonically, I feel like we found our pocket. You know, I feel like the records that me and him have together is way more advanced. Just the relationships that I have, like with the engineer Davis, producer, that he also produced a few on those. Like, he definitely, it's been a lot of learning, learning more about like the music itself. So, being able to sit with him and, getting the sound improved even better. And it's just been, I've been, my eyes have been open to a whole nother level, in life. And I'm able to see newer things. I get to talk about a lot of my experiences that I've been having recently, and just stories and stuff from that I could just talk about, so much like real life experiences.
Dope.
That's dope. That's dope. So with that being said, what are some of your biggest influences when you were creating this album?
Champagne. Just, I mean, it's just like the lifestyle, to be honest. Grabbing the Benz, the Benz, that's my dream car. So like, like getting that definitely like, inspired a lot of raps. And, it's a great feeling, man. It's a great feeling to be AJ Snow and to move the way I want to move. And like, it's just like, man, I'm honored, but it's because of like the, taking the longer route. And now I'm really seeing the fruits of my labor.
I got a quick sidebar question. My cousin, who's like my big brother, works at Mercedes Benz in Buckhead. So every time I go see him, he shows me like all the Mercedes, like all of them, because he's like a big gearhead. What Mercedes did you cop?
It's a 95, a 95 SL 500.
Oh,
So,
you bought the Oski Woski.
it's on the cover art. It's the red
That's
one.
the cover, right? That's the joint.
Mhm.
That's the whip on the cover. Oh, that's your whip.
Yeah.
Dope.
Yeah.
Yeah, he ain't fronting.
I like
Yeah.
that. I like
Yeah.
that a lot. Tell me what your writing process was like for this project. Like, there are a couple things I'd like you to touch on right quick. Like, first of all, you said you're from Dallas, but you
Yeah.
relocated to Cali, and you
Mhm.
toured with Larry June. I can definitely hear, like, I hear Too Short and Larry June
Yeah.
stylistically, like when I listen to you. So can you talk to me about that in terms of your writing process? And can you talk to me about how Dallas and Cali influenced your writing process? All of that.
Well, so I feel like my biggest inspiration, like with music, like writing music, I always think like when I was a kid, like on Saturdays, like getting in the car with my dad, and then we go to the car wash, and he's playing West Coast, he's playing like DJ Quick, Sugar Free. Too Short wasn't really that big of an influence to me. I've been getting that a lot though since early on in my career. My dad, he played, UGK, 8 Ball, MJG. Those are like some of his favorites, and he played a lot of oldies. So it's just like I get, I always kind of like I could feel that when I'm writing, and that's like that what keeps me like going. That feeling I had when I was a kid, if that makes sense. But those is like some great memories that I had. So, and it's just like that. It's just so much that it's so much so much music that I heard as a kid, being because I was born in Dallas, but I grew up in Springfield, Illinois. So being in the Midwest,
Mhm.
I got everything, and then, I also too, I'm young enough to know what life was like without phones, but I'm also, I am, I was able to work the internet, you know what I mean? So even though being in the Midwest, I was still, you know, seeing what was going on in Cali, New York, you know, the South, you know, and so I was able to get a lot of influences growing up.
Mhm.
So with your new project, The Game Don't Deserve Me, what are your personal favorite tracks from your album? And why are they your favorite tracks? Whether it be, you know, the studio session, you know, was something to really remember, or you felt like you was locked in on this rhyme scheme or the beat or what have you, and why are they your favorite tracks?
Man, to be honest, like, and this is why I love making music. It's like everything is like it's like a time capsule for me. Like
Mhm.
each record all have a special meaning to me. But my favorite ones, I would say, Black Excellence is one, Thugging Through the Pain, Mushroom Ravioli,
Love the
uh,
joint.
Broke to Ballin', Cuban Cigar, You Got That Fire, Fine Art. Like, yeah, damn near the whole album. But like, you know, I just, you know, it's a, you know, I man, I really enjoyed that album because it's like, you know, I took a year off from releasing from Let's Get Rich to The Game Don't Deserve Me. So it was just so much like I was living through. Like, you know, like Black Excellence is like, you know, the first bars is like, it's time to level up, it's time to double up. Fuck a label, I bet my own chips on me. And it's just like, you know, when I like my mentality, like I was telling y'all, like I was like, man, those first bars was like, you know, I was like, man, I knew like it's time to show the game, like, you know, like, or it's time to show like I'm here to stay, like, you know, I'm very serious about this. And then it's like, you know, like, as you know, I'm starting to take those meetings, those label meetings, and I'm hearing, you know, and it's just like fuck it, like I'm gonna just keep betting my chips on me until the time is right, you know what I mean? So
Yeah. That's dope. You rattled off four of my top five off rip.
for real.
You said Black Excellence, Mushroom Ravioli, Thugging Through the Pain, and Cuban Cigar. That's the four you rattled off. And the fifth one that I had was Leather and Wood for my top
Oh
five.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. I like Leather and Wood too.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, they all, man, I love them all, to be honest. They all like, you know, I just feel like they all like art pieces, you know, to myself.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
You sounded different on this album. When I think about, you know, No Awards for the Real, then I think about Let's Get Rich up until, you know, now, you know, what was the thought process as you started choosing the producers for this album? Did you want to go a different route to unlock something else out of you? Because I heard like a different confidence in you, if that makes
Yeah.
sense, on this album that I heard on the previous albums. So was there like a process you went through to actually find the right producer to unlock a different fervor out of you, if you will?
So I mean, I think you know, you know, the like No Awards for the Real, like Let's Get Rich, you know, those are just like 2 full albums with Jansport J. So
Mm-hmm.
it was like with this album, it was more like, you know, I was just experiencing more, you know, like um you know, I got a great ear. Like I feel like I'm very confident in my ear, and it's like, you know, I can when I hear a beat, or you know, it's like I already know like which ones have potential, you know what I mean? And like my thing was like take the 10 best that I have.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like these is what I feel most confident from, and you know, I'm very like I line up every, I can't think of the word. I line up every track list, and it's like from 1 to 10. This felt the most confident, and it's just like I had other records, you know, on there that I was, you know, moving around, but when it was time for the final, I'm like I felt very confident with those 10. Yeah.
So you were actually doing this interview, the picture of Tupac behind you. And so I would like to know your favorite Tupac record. But the reason that I'm asking that is because my question was actually to ask you about the message of this album. But there's a picture, and the man in the picture might be the most powerful message deliverer in hip hop history. So tell me what your favorite Pac song is, and tell me what message that you hope listeners take away from your project.
Okay. So I mean, my favorite Tupac song
Yeah,
of all time.
yeah.
I feel like, man, probably How Do You Want It? I know it's not the most, the most.
I like how you.
I know it ain't the most powerful message in it, but I just like
It,
all eyes on me is my favorite body of work because it's just like, I feel like I love Tupac's music. I feel like I'm on that To Live and Die in LA. But but I know, he definitely, man, he definitely a soldier. We all know what Tupac meant to the black community, to life, to the hip hop world. And so, he's very, he's definitely a big influence for myself, and for The Game Don't Deserve Me, what I hope people, understand, or what the message that they get, um, damn man, to man, to bet on yourself. I feel like that's the biggest. To bet on yourself, to believe in yourself. I feel like we as people, right? We all try to look for like advice, and we want to hear hear like something that's going to change your life. Or we look at millionaires and be like, oh, like we're gonna follow this one route and we all gonna be millionaires. And life don't work like that. And it's just like the simple things that they teach us in life since we was kids. That's the shit that matters the most. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like believe in yourself, That's how I made it this far, is believing in myself. Like that, and I keep believing in myself moving forward,
I love it.
Because
What's up?
I seen this, like I said, I come from a small town in Springfield, Illinois. It was only like 100,000 people, and it's like, man, I'm in California now, doing what I love doing. So it's like, but I believed in myself, and I seen, I believed in my sound too when nobody understood it. Even when, moms didn't understand it, friends didn't understand it, you know what I mean? But it's just like, and now it's just like, it's very beautiful to see, like, they're placing us in our own genre now. We're having blogs that, that really support what we do. So it's like, man, it's an honor. And I thank the guys before me. I love what Larry doing. I love what Currency's doing. I love what Dom's doing. So it's just like, man, it's a blessing, and all those guys influenced me.
That's what's up. As far as collaborations on this album with other artists, can you speak to who you have on the album and how did those collaborations came about?
Yeah, so on those two, I mean, it's only two of them on the album. It's Planet Asia and then my homie Bells. Planet Asia, after we dropped Let's Get Rich, um, he had hit one of my homegirls up and was like, yo, he hard, like, let's work. And then so we lined up the studio session, and we got that record out the way. And then my homie Bells, I met Bells through like being around Hit Boy and Surf Club. And and we, me and Bells, we gained a tight friendship. We talk dinner every day. So yeah, and I love his music, what he's doing, and you know so yeah. So anyway, like, we just locked in creating and just living.
No, no doubt. Now, AJ, you talked about Springfield, you talked about Dallas, Texas, you talked about LA.
Yeah.
All of those, that's a melting pot within itself. I've been in Springfield. Springfield is a very small place out in Chicago. That's a very small area. That's what the pizza out there, really good pizza, to be honest. But what was like? How did you feel that influenced your music in this project within itself? Because you have different elements. There's like really not a style that someone can point to because of the origins of where you're coming from. Was there anything that influenced this project from the far part from your life, your personal life, and where you're from?
Not, I mean, I think, to be honest, I just think it's just like my creative genius, just all overall, and it's just like, I just keep getting better. I just keep sharpening my sword, and like the memory, like I definitely could take like the memories that that I have, because those are those are part of me. So it's just like, it's certain things that I could say, like, I could reflect to, like, Damn, what bar did I say? You know, like we used to heat the stove. Now, da 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 da, da, and it's just like those humble beginnings. Like, you know what I mean? Like those, you know, those definitely shape me and make me as a person. You know, and it's just certain, you know, certain things as a, you know, as a, you know, coming from that, you know, that small area. You know, it's just like, you know, to make it out of there. You know, and you know, because there's not a lot of opportunity there. So it's like to figure it out, to make it out of there, and you know, it's a blessing. I'm thankful
No
for
doubt.
real.
No doubt.
Well, what challenges did you face while creating this project? Some of our best rap projects are often mired in some sort of adversity, whether it be like personal, environmental, structural. Like, what were the things that were going on with AJ Snow through the process of making The Game Doesn't Deserve Me?
It was. I'm not gonna lie. This was low key one of my. You know, it was very frustrating. It was very frustrating, like trying to get from Let's Get Rich to this point because it's like, of course, I had the chip on my shoulder, so I'm like, man, I want to make this the best, you know, the best that it can be. And then it's also too, it's the, you know, it was like, it was a lot of, you know, it was a lot of people like you know, so much chit chatter in the ear trying to get you off of, off. I won't say off my square, but it's just like, you know, sometimes you gotta, you know, respectfully, like, you know, even the people the closest to you, sometimes you just gotta, you gotta, you know, mute out all that extra chatter and like, you know, trust yourself, believe that, you know, you're gonna make the right decision. Yeah, it's people there that, you know, that want the best for you, but sometimes it's hard to take advice from some people that, you know, haven't done what you've done, you know, respectfully. So that, you know, I was going through that, you know, dealing with the, you know, having meetings and stuff with labels and stuff and hearing what they're saying and, you know, trying to see like, you know, is this the right decision to make or should I go this route or should I just keep pushing myself? You know, a lot, you know, little personal, you know, personal stuff, you know, that's, you know, but that's life. So, you know, you just got to keep pushing no matter what.
Okay.
Sure. Uh,
And oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
no, you go ahead. Cook, cook.
I'm just saying, you know, that's just, you know, that's life. Like, you know, we all go through stuff, you know, we all push through, but,
Yeah.
you know, that's, you know, you just got to keep going no matter what.
No doubt.
Absolutely. Um, you spoke to this a little bit earlier about how Jansport J helped you, you know, craft the sound.
Yeah.
So, with your new sound, how would you say you evolved into that sound compared to when you first started? Like, how would you describe your sound now versus when you first started your career?
I feel like, uh, I feel like working with sport, it helped me, it helped it helped my sound more polished and it's like it helped me it helped me like carve my own lane because it's like you get to like I feel like coming up um I feel like coming up, you know, as you trying to be somebody new on the scene, right? And you get those comparisons, like you sound like this, you sound like that. And I feel like it was a time where I was like, man, I like that sound that sport has, because I didn't expect me to run into sport, but like that sound, I knew like I wanted to eventually grow into that as an art, you know, move into that way into as an artist. And it just so happened, you know, God lined me and sport up, and you know, and then so we did the first album, we did the second album, and then, you know, he helped me with the Game Don't Deserve Me. So it was definitely like his that sport has a like, I know like Jay Dilla, you know, Jay Dilla is like one of his biggest influences, and you know, he has like that soul, that Midwest soul. And you know, I grew up in that, so it kind of goes hand in hand, and yeah.
It's interesting. It's interesting. Are there any lyrics attached? Anything that you can feel like as far as stories attached to the lyrics that you have, or any songs, any stories attached to those songs in your lyrics?
Uh, yeah, most definitely. I mean, yeah, yeah, no, most definitely. like mushroom ravioli. It's just like, you know what it is. It's not. It's a lot of like bars that I have, and they come from like like when I was like sliding the Blue Bucks clan, and I know that this ain't really that deep or anything, but it's just like when it was big hit like birthday party, his first birthday party when he got out, and it's like the DJ was he was jamming that Blue Bucks. He had like the Blue Bucks like fucking on like the Year of Jerk, fucking like he had the vocals on top of that, and I'm like, that shit was sliding, and I never really listened to the Blue Bucks, but after that kind of made me a fan. So it's just like when that bar when I'm sliding to the Blue Bucks, it's like yeah. So I don't know. I know that's something so small and probably sounds so
No,
big,
no. I mean, hey, going to a big
but
hit
it's just
birthday
like,
party, man, is crazy within itself.
yeah. But so it's like also too, it's like those little. That's why I said like my music's like a time capsule, because now it's like that one bar might seem so simple to the listener, but like when I listen to it, it takes me down that memory lane, like, and it's like that, So I enjoy that a lot. I mean, is there any song that you guys want to know? And I could kind of like, because it's just like, it's so much.
So, first of all, I love your song title names.
Thank you.
Um,
Facts.
Yeah.
Thank you. That's my
so I
favorite
mean,
part. That's my favorite part. That's
so
what I love.
I'm from Atlanta, so I grew up on Outkast. So I think Outkast have the best song title names,
Yeah.
like in history of rap, because the song title names will explain what they're trying to convey, but it may not convey what's going on like necessarily when you hear it until you like really dig in and groove. And
Yeah.
so I love Cabernet from Adelaide with Planet Asia,
Yeah.
you know. And I actually know somebody from Adelaide, and I'm like, why the hell are they talking about the beach in Australia? You
But
know?
see, I didn't know anything about that. I named that title because he said it in the verse, and I'm like, oh, this fly.
It is. So Adelaide is like Cal Adelaide is California in Australia.
Okay.
You know,
Nice.
and I actually know somebody from Adelaide, and that's how I found all that out. And so for me, when you're talking about like those nuances of the things that you remember,
Yeah.
well, that's kind of how it is for the listener too. It's like, so Cabernet from Adelaide stuck with me. It's like, oh no, I was like, I know somebody from Adelaide. I'm like,
That's
fuck these
fire.
West Coast niggas talking about. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
That's
And
fire.
and having Planet Asia on the record, Planet Asia is one of the most underrated MCs of all time, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Facts.
Yeah. No, he's
And
great. He's great. And I've been hearing his name, going on for a while. And then like, when it lined up, I just when I started really diving into, his music, I'm like, dog, he fucking hard. Like, hell
yeah,
yeah. And so what's so funny
brilliant.
too? Well, so funny while we in the studio and he recording the verse, I'm like, damn, I'm like, cause he, his verse goes so crazy. I'm like,
He
man,
cold,
like, I'm
cold.
like, damn, I got so much. I felt like I was like in elementary school writing my verse compared to his, but it's also too, it's like, man, like I respect the other MCs, and I love the other MCs so much, because it's like their sword is so sharp. You know what I mean? And I know like over time I'm gonna keep getting better as mine, but as of right now, it's just I really appreciate the older heads, and it's like it's always dope too when like the older generation, they accept you. You know what I mean? Especially in rap, when they, because I know you guys were saying earlier about how music is so different now, and it's just like, where the real MCs respect you, it's like, okay, I'm doing something right.
So I'm gonna finish my thoughts right quick, and then I'm gonna
I'm
pass
sorry.
it
I'm
to
sorry. Yeah, yeah.
AG.
I'm sorry.
No, you're good. So this is what I mean about connecting to the listeners. So it's like Cabernet from Adelaide. Well, my other three favorite records are Mushroom Ravioli, Cuban Cigar, and
Yeah.
Leather and Wood. I don't know if you've watched this show before, but I smoke cigars. I love a good
Okay.
Cuban cigar.
Yeah.
So I relate. Mushroom ravioli is actually one of my favorite dishes. You should try it with a little bit of veal on top and a cream sauce. Just
Okay. Yeah.
remember, you got that here. Some veal on top of your mushroom ravioli with a cream sauce and leather and wood. I'm from the South, so the whole UGK, A-Ball, MJG, it's like, no, leather and wood is the thing, like on the cars and in the streets with the music. So
Yeah.
those were my four favorite records, but that's because those are the records that related back to me.
That's fire. That's tight.
Yeah.
Man, that's tight, man. I'm glad that, I'm glad you guys really, love
Yeah.
the project, man. It means a lot to me. For real.
No, the project is dope. AG, what you got?
Yeah, we right now, yeah, the project is really dope, and we know you're relishing in the glory of completing your album, and hopefully the people are diving in, listening to it, and enjoying it. But what do you got next coming down the pipeline? Like, do you got any other new music coming out or any tours?
Yeah, I got a lot of music. I got a lot of music. I got another album that's done right or damn near done.
Dope.
I don't want to put dates on it yet, but it's coming soon. I got that one. I got another album with Jansport J just sitting. That album's pretty much done.
Wow.
Yeah, was in the studio earlier working with Davis this morning on another project. So yeah, I got a lot of work coming out, and I'm really trying to flood for the rest of the year, and then hit the road. I want to get on the road by like spring of 2025, and keep loading up the clip, and just keep I'm having fun. So yeah, I don't want to stop right now.
Man, you working.
Yeah, most definitely.
So we do have a question for you for one of your fans, man. He wants to know which rapper you want to collab with next and producer as well.
All right, so which rapper? What rapper do I want to collab with next? Shit. I want to rap with Spitter, man. I want with Currency. I want to do some music with Currency.
I would love it. I love that. Love that.
Producer wise, so on the new album, I'm just gonna let y'all know. Man, I got some shit with Sledgerin on there, so I'm excited to show the world them records because that's a whole nother AJ Snow. So yeah, so yeah, those two.
What does Jansport J bring to this equation when you're putting projects together that goes unheralded or that you appreciate? Like, tell us about your relationship with Jansport and what that looks like inside and outside the studio.
Yeah. Oh, so man, Jansport, man, that's we started with the music, of course, but we built the brotherhood. Uh, you know, um, I could pull up anytime I want to his crib. He recently just got married, so spent all the time
Right.
with him and his wife, and the family, all that good stuff. So it's very it's we our relationship started off with the music, but we got a good brotherhood going on. Sport, he's like he's like my OG in the game, where we sit down, we talk about, he gives me the advice. He puts his input on a lot of stuff, and he also try to, I won't say he's trying. He tries to he kind of he got his arm around me. You know what I mean? He's trying to make sure making sure I dodge a lot of things that he had to deal with. So which I appreciate that a lot.
He's doing big homie shit.
Yeah, he doing big homie shit, and that, and then he helps. Pretty much what I do is even if he doesn't, if I do an album and he doesn't touch anything on it, I still send him the album. He listened to it, he gives me his feedback. I feel like what the game don't really like. I feel like a lot of people, they sport is a great sport got a great ear too. And he's, sometimes too, broke to ball, and that record, it was a different beat. It had that same drum pattern on there, but sport, he takes records to another level. And so broke to ballin', I actually rapped that on a different sample. And then he went back and threw that Anita Baker sample on there. And it's sometimes I'll be like, man, but I trust him. So I'm like, all right, cool. At first it was like, all right, let me try it. But that one was fire. And so he's very on hands with everything. So yeah.
That actually leads into my next question, because I was going to say, could you pick out any studio moment with sport that stuck out to you in particular? You know, you mentioned how much you trust him, and you know how he used the sample. Is there anything that he had queued up like that you hadn't heard yet, and he queued up the beat? You know, one of the ones that made your record, and that you just went crazy as soon as you heard it.
Mushroom ravioli. I knew mushroom ravioli was gonna be the one.
Okay.
But yeah, matter of fact, I was just at his crib, and like the way mushroom, like I just pulled up to his crib one night and we just chilling, and you know, I think he was showing me like one of his projects he was working on, and he played some beats and everything, but I was like, yeah, that mushroom ravioli gotta come. Yeah, I need that. And man, Sport don't be stingy either. Like that's why I fuck with Sport. Like he opened the packs up for me, man. And you know, yeah, so
To give you
that, but
beats out of that A folder, not the B folder.
yeah, out the A folder, and it's like, man, like even like floating, like when he got me floating, I didn't think he was gonna give me that, but like, man, floating was hard, and just to throw this out there, that on King Disease 3, that WTF SMH, that fucking that Nas joint when he rapped just on Sport beat, I got that beat in my computer. I didn't touch it, but I'm kind of like,
Oh
you know,
man,
it's great. It's great to say like, damn, like I passed on a beat that Nas jumped on. So
Hey,
that's crazy.
yeah.
For those of you who don't know, Jansport J did the second half of WTF SMH. You know, so
oh, AJ, don't run now, AJ. Don't
yeah,
not done.
Yeah,
Not
don't
done.
blank out now.
You don't get to leave like this, AJ. Come on
There
back,
we
play.
go. Nah, it was a emergency thing that jumped on. My bad.
uh,
Oh, okay.
yeah. AJ
Nah,
was like, man, I don't know if I should have said that shit. I'm like,
no. It's just, man, that shit just tight. But overall, kind of, go back to like your question, because I know I kind of like veered off on it. Like one of my biggest things, like takeaways, like with sport, and like we got good chemistry in the studio, and like we both like we're able to like freely create with each other. Like it's not like one because he's the Grammy nominated producer. Where he says go, sometimes he do some stuff. I'll be like, nah, bro, that ain't it. And it's some stuff that I say where he like, have a better ear. So we have that respect, and like we,
dope.
yeah. So it's it's
Yeah.
pretty, yeah.
That
So,
that relationship is so important. My executive producer was my cousin, so when I fucked up a take, he would just like stop the record, and I knew that I was supposed to go again. But when it's not your family, no, seriously. But he
Yeah.
was my family, and he taught me how to rhyme. So it was like when he stopped, it's like, oh no, I fucked up. I got to go again. It's different when you're building that relationship with somebody that's not necessarily somebody who you grew up with and you came up with. You do have to develop that rapport
Yeah.
and kind of like hear each other's creative genius, but also creative like differences as well. So I like
And and it was natural since like day one. Like
that.
right when it was just like it was not, and that's why too. It's like, man, it's like that's why I was saying earlier. Like, man, God lined us up. You know what I mean? Because it's just like it works so smooth, and we, like we understand each other. Maybe because we're both creators, we both understand each other. So it's just like sometimes Sport might go mute, and he might be taking care of some shit, or sometimes where like I might go mute, and some people might. In those type of relationships, some people will be like, "Oh, why are you not doing this, doing that?" But it's like, we like it's a lot of unspoken rules with us. So we just, we just do our thing, and and with Sport, I don't ever have to ask him for beats. Like it's just like with Sport, like I learn him, and it's just like with him, it's just like he's gonna drop that pack off to you. You know what I mean? Like you don't like I don't have to be on his back like, man, Sport, I need some beats, I need some beats. Like, nah, Sport's gonna send that pack, and he sends a lot of them at a time. So,
So what's a lot? Is a lot like 2025?
30, 40.
wow.
Yeah.
He got that much in the tuck.
He's
Huh?
sending you 30, 40-piece wings at a time?
Y'all heard the man. He said he got a whole project finished just sitting on the shelf with sports. So
Yeah, man. It's
You
I was
said
gonna
30?
say when we started No Awards for the Real, that's when we first started the relationship. And like, we was on the DM, like, messaging and stuff. And he's like, I didn't take sports serious at first because like, like I say, it's so much like you hear that like the industry shit, like, oh yeah, da 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 da. I'm gonna send you some, I'm gonna send you some beats or whatever. So I'm like, all right, whatever. But Sport kept his word. He dropped like 30, 40 off that first time. And that, like, to be honest, we with No It Was For The Real, we out of that first pack, we did majority of those shits. And then it's just like, then again, when I think about it, because I still have all those, like, sometimes I go back, like, you know, I go back to a lot of those records and I might create something new. That's what I did with Broke to Ballin'. So like, even when I'm in a little slow spot and it's just like, all right, well, you know, let me check to see what I have on a hard drive. I just, you know, I go back and I might start a new idea, and where Sport would be like, man, that shit outdated, then he'll switch the sample or he'll do something. But man, Sport, like, man, he really fuck with me. And it's like, you know, I think that too, it keeps me going too. Like, keeps me like, you know, like
I
I
mean,
gotta get that approval.
most up and coming rappers are lucky to get a 5-pack from an established hip hop producer that's been in the game for real. Like,
Yeah.
you're lucky if you can get 5 beats
Real.
from an established producer, like 5.
Yep.
So the fact he sent you 30, 40 means he fucks with you.
Yeah, no, most definitely. Like I said, like, you know, it's, you know, like, I know his wife, you know, I'd have met his pops, you know, I'd have met sisters, you know, like, you know, when you invite somebody, a stranger to the family crib, it's like, you gotta fuck with the person.
You got
You
the
locked me
Jansport
now.
J. You got the Jansport J stimulus package. AJ Snow got the Jansport J stimulus
Oh
package.
yeah.
Yeah.
You locked me.
Yeah.
Okay, AJ, we got to get up out of here and wrap up the pod and talk about the other things. But I did want to talk about Bells. Like, who is Bells? How do you know Bells? Like, what's his energy like bringing him on the project? Because you only have 2 guest appearances on here. One of them is a well-known independent California and legend and lyricist in Planet Asia. Other guy, Bells, not as familiar with. Tell me about Bells.
Man, Bells, he from Pasadena, California. You know, he grew up. Well, I won't say he grew up, but you know, he's an older cat, but you know, him and Hit Boy been locked in for years, and you know, being around Hit Boy Surf Club, like, you know, I met Bells, and I think he on his, like, he dropped music before, but what I know of him, like, I know he's about to drop his like 3rd album since I known him, but you know, he dropped the album. Shit, what's the name of the album? He dropped the album with Hit Boy, like Hit Boy and Jansport J produced, and it's like also too, you know, affiliation, because with me and Jansport, so like that's how, you know, I came across Bells. But you know, they got, you know, he sounds very, you know, he's from Pasadena, California. He sounds like a East Coast. You know, he sound like he's from the East Coast, like that 90. He kind of remind me of like a Jay-Z, like that. He, you know what I'm saying? He a fly dude, you know, and yeah, no, it's like, yeah, he's tight. Then he had dropped the last album, Life, Death, somewhere in between. He dropped that, and I was featured on that. He got this record called Stay, and that shit's just, man, it's phenomenal. Like, like, check him out. He got a joint with Hit Boy on that very first, that other album, on a Jansport beat called Living. That shit crazy too. So yeah, I'm a fan of his music, and you know, just, you know, just want to see him grow. When, you know, I'm a fan of anybody that I work with. I'm a fan of, and I truly believe, and you know, and I want to see them grow and be great artists just as much as me. So yeah.
Okay. We want to thank you for coming on the Hip Hop Talks. Tell everybody who follows us to cop your new project, The Game Don't Deserve Me. We're looking forward to all that you have in the pipeline in the future, brother. We wish you much success. We hope this is not the last time that we're linking as well.
No,
Tell Jansport and Hip Hop Talk said what up.
Okay, for sure, man. Man, I appreciate you guys for taking the time, man. Most definitely.
We
Appreciate
appreciate you for taking the time, brother.
Thank you for pulling up.
Yeah.
No, most definitely. Y'all take care.
You too,
Yeah,
man.
much success to you, my G.
All right, take care. Yeah.
Peace.
Yeah.
Peace.
That was dope.
I like him. Very personable guy.
Yeah.
I like him.
Y'all for real, go check out the project. The Game Don't Deserve Me,
No,
man.
the project's a good project. It's a good project.
So
No, I really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
So you know, slight transition, you know, since we're talking, you know, Hit Boy, you know, his frequent collaborator Nas just celebrated the 22nd anniversary of the Lost Tapes, gentlemen. The Lost Tapes for me is a top 5 Nas album. It's one of his best mic performances, in my opinion. I think that an argument can oftentimes be made that it might be a top 3 Nas album, and I think most people are in agreement about what the number 1 and number 2 are, no matter what order that you may have it in. So as we celebrate the 22nd anniversary of this album, I don't have a specific question for you fellas. I just kind of want you all to, elaborate, pontificate, talk about what the Lost Tapes is, what it means, what it represents, what you think of it, where you have it ranked in Nas's catalog, what are the mic performances like, what are the themes and the concepts. Like, I think it's one of his most magnificent pieces of work, and I think it's his I think this is his, in a lot of ways, his most braggadocious album, and I'll explain that when it's my turn to talk. But since Queens get the money in the house, Sean, we're gonna start it off with you. So let's talk about the Lost Tapes 22nd anniversary.
Man, the Lost Tapes came at a time when we were still winning. We were still on a high from Stillmatic and Ether. It came a couple of months right before Godson. So it came between Stillmatic and Godson. I think it came out of course September. Godson came out in November?
December.
Came out December. It caught us off guard because there was not a lot of promo for it. We didn't expect for Nas to really come back with something else that quick because we were still on high from Stillmatic and the victory of Ether. And when I heard it the first time, I remember just saying like, man, this might be better than Stillmatic. Just from listening to it straight through. Everything that you saw was spitting. The nostalgia was there, but it still sounded fresh. It sounded like it was right for that time. And even when you listen to it today, it still feels like it's right for that time, but it also feels like it's still timeless. It's like one of those, again, a timeless capsule. And for me, I think that my biggest takeaway in real time, 22 years ago when that album came out, I was confused at first because I was like, yo, he's working. He's still working? Because we weren't getting Nas albums back to back like that. We were getting Nas albums like 2 years apart. And to have, the Lost Tapes planted firmly right between Stillmatic and Godson, to me was the perfect setup because you had a very highly commercially successful Stillmatic album, phenomenal album, comeback album, all of those things. And then you go right back to the essence when you're talking about, the Lost Tapes. The Lost Tapes took you right back to the essence. And then you had Godson that came back and brought it full circle. I thought that, to me, I told someone a long time ago, and I passed it to you, AG. I told someone a long time ago that I felt that Stillmatic, Lost Tapes, and Godson was Nas' second trilogy. That was the three-peat. That was the second three-peat because you had Illmatic, It Was Written, and I Still Count I Am. It's that first three-peat. And I felt like Stillmatic, Lost Tapes, and Godson was the second three-peat in his career.
No
Footnote that comment, Sean. I'm going to circulate on that when it's my turn. AG, go ahead. Footnote that comment. I love that you said that.
You can go ahead and speak on that if you want to before I go.
No. That's cool because that's just like a piece of what I want to say. But okay. I love that he made that contextualization. Go ahead, though, AG.
Okay. For me, just taking it back to that time, and I remember seeing the ad for it and being totally shocked because, like Sean said, we were still coming off of Stillmatic, and I remember seeing in the Source and XXL they had the ad for it, and I remember the pitch was it said no cameos, no hype, no bullshit. And I remember that in the magazine. That was the selling point. So I was like, okay, and to that point, it's no features on the album. It's just Nas like in his purest form. You know what I mean? Probably you could argue this is his purest form as far as mic performance and just Nas the MC. Like it's comparable to Illmatic in that way. To me it was. You know what I mean? And a lot of these tracks people have been clamoring for years, right? We've talked, extensively about the I Am bootleg that was supposed to be a double album. A lot of the classic tracks that was supposed to be on I Am ended up on here, like, Fetus and Blaze the 50, like excellent storytelling tracks. You know what I mean? And oddly enough, I had a bootleg of Stillmatic when it first came out. This was a couple weeks before it dropped. And Do Rags was the intro. It went from Do Rags into Ether. And when now, mind you, when the retail came out and I heard the, official Stillmatic intro, my mind was blown. I was like, oh my God, this is crazy. You know what I mean? But I was like, yo, where's Do Rags at? I need that. I need the song Do Rags. So, and a lot of people might not remember this, but I had a Circuit City where I was living at the time. And if you got the Circuit City CD, it had an exclusive bonus track, No Ideas Original, over a different Alchemist beat. So, and then we come to find out it's later on Lost Tapes, with a different beat and sample. So with the Barry White joint. So I just love the album. I'm with Coop. For me, it's a top 5 album in Nas' discography. I would argue I only have one gripe with the album, and this is just on some petty stuff. I think it's a 5 mic album, but I think for me, my favorite unreleased Nas song is Rise and Fall, like bar none. And I think this would have had a home on this album. And I think that one song would have probably took this album from top 5 conversation to top 2 or 3 conversation, just adding that one song in. But that's just a nitpick for me. But I love the album. I think it's 5 mics, but I'm glad you asked that, Coop, about where do we place it in his discography, because I think that that's been a point of contention with this album. If I can think of any controversy around this album, it's when I've argued with other people. They say, well, we don't count this in Nas' discography because all it is a compilation. But it's very much an album because the songs that were...
He chose these songs for a reason, and I'm about to get to that.
Right. And the songs that were chosen were recorded between the time frame of 98 to 01, which is a 4-year span. Busta Rhymes put out a whole album, that ELE2, that had songs on it that was over 7 years old. So if we're using that metric, this is an actual album of original material. And I feel like back then, when we used to argue more heavily than we do now about the whole Jay-Z and Nas thing, a lot of times they would like say, well, you can't count that one because they knew that this was one of Nas's best. Like, well, that can't count. That's like cheating. You can't throw that in the mix when we're comparing discographies, but now Nas's discography is so extensive and so dense and has so much quality in it. You can name a top 5 and just leave out the Lost Tapes and still be, have a hell of an argument. But for me, this remains a top 5 album of Nas. And for those who say it's not a real album, I call that BS. This is very much an album, and I count it in his discography. And I'll pass it to you, Coop.
I love those thoughts and opinions, AG. I want to piggyback off some of them. This album, and this is what makes it an album that people need to understand. This is actually his most personal piece of work, guys. You actually get Nas on the Lost Tapes. Nas talks more about his mother and his father in this stretch of songs than he has the entirety of all the other rap albums combined. You understand that? There are like literal, and now we can look back on it and see why there are so many references to his mother on this project. Because during the process of recording this, now we know, well, she was not well. And so what this actually is the most reflective version of himself. And now I begin to think, when I listen to it today, that it's not only the bootleggers that prevented this project from coming out, but it might have been him too, because some of these records might have been too close to home. Like, listen to the records. Fetus, Drunk by Myself, Papa Was a Player. Like, he's digging in on this project. This is actually the Nas project where you get to see Nas the person. As much as we love Illmatic and It Was Written, that's about Queensbridge. That's not about Nas. Nas isn't talking about Nas on his first 2 albums. We're all clear on that, right? Like, you don't know who Nas is after his first 2 albums.
Mm-hmm. That's fair. Yeah.
You know about Queens. You know about The Bridge. You know what his MC skills are like. You don't know Nas after the first 2 albums.
No, right. Right.
The Lost Tapes is the first real glimpse into Nas. You don't know who Nas is after those first 4 albums. You know what his skills look like. You know what his hood look like. You know what his storytelling skills look like. You even know what the people around him look like. Like, you know who Jungle is.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
This
saying?
is more
You know
introspective.
who Cormac is. You know who yeah. And so this is actually his first real personal piece of work. And it's brilliant. But because it's personal, it doesn't have the home runs that Stillmatic does. But I find myself in this constant debate between it because, and here's how I feel about this album. This album is the leg up in the greatest 3-album run that he's ever had. Because this album is what makes the Stillmatic Lost Tapes Godson run the best 3-album run he's ever had. Because if Stillmatic is third in the run, if Illmatic and It Was Written are 1 or 2, well, Stillmatic and the Lost Tapes are 3 or 4. And Godson's way closer to being number 5 than I Am is.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
The Lost Tapes is actually the separation point because you could say that Godson and I Am are comparable, maybe. And you could say Stillmatic and It Was Written is comparable. And you're saying, well, nothing compares to Illmatic. But the guy that exists on Illmatic that's talking about Queensbridge, he's not talking about Queensbridge. He's talking about Nas and what Nas is going through and what life looks like for Nas on the Lost Tapes. Like when he's talking on You Gotta Love It, finicky foul niggas.
Love that.
Finicky foul niggas. It's a loud difference. Some cats, they ice grill me. They want to kill me. But on the low, niggas feel me. You gotta love it.
Yeah.
Like, he's not talking about the bridge on the Lost Tapes. He's talking about Nas.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
This is his most braggadocious performance because this is him saying the shit that I don't release out to the masses is still better than your favorite rapper's shit. Here it is. That's who he is. Where LL Cool J is that braggadocious that we can see and feel and hear instantly and attach the whole archetype of the hip hop MC to. This is who Nas is. It's like, yeah, my cutting floor shit that I don't even want to release, it's better than your favorite rapper shit, though. This is his biggest shit talking point.
Mm-hmm.
This is the one that wasn't made for TV. This is the one that he didn't try to sell records for in his prime. All the other albums outside of Illmatic in this time frame were built to go platinum on some sort of level, including Godson with I Can. You know what I'm saying? Like, no. The Lost Tapes is that raw, uncut shit, and it's a brilliant piece of work. I find myself saying that I did an order of how of the songs in terms of what I thought the best from the best of work was. I have Purple at number 6. I think Purple would be a top 3 record on I Am. And that's the difference for me. Purple's better than everything on I Am to me, except for Nas's like as far as like certainly. Like only Nas's like is definitely better than Purple. Purple's like the 6th or 7th best joint on here. Maybe 5th, 5, 6, 7, somewhere in there. You feel what I'm saying?
Roundabout.
So that's the quality that he's operating on this album. It doesn't have like AG, I love that you brought up the Stillmatic intro and Do-Rags. It's like I love Do-Rags. It doesn't have that feel that the Stillmatic intro has, but it's actually better lyrically.
Yeah, it is.
And the hooks are comparable. You know what I mean? It's just Stillmatic is home run hitter Nas. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like Lost Tapes, is street poet, street's disciple from it. Like Nas that's on It Ain't Hard to Tell is on the Lost Tapes.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like that's what that is. The dude that's on It Ain't Hard to Tell is on the Lost Tapes. The dude that's on It Was Written is on Stillmatic. You know what I'm saying? So it's all about like which guy you want. It's like you want the guy from The Message or you want the guy from It Ain't Hard to Tell in terms of which albums are better. But this album doesn't have no fucking Braveheart Party or no Rule. The worst albums on here, I mean, the worst songs on this album to me, the last 3 songs for me are Everybody's Crazy, My Way, and Nothing Lasts Forever. All of those would be top records on Nostradamus and borderline top 5 records on I Am to me. Like, those are the
He
back.
spazzed on Jay on Everybody's Crazy, though. He went.
That's what I'm saying. Everybody's Crazy Everybody's Crazy is one of the bottom end records on here.
Yeah.
Like, that's what I'm saying. It's like he's blacking out on some of these records.
So it's high quality.
It's 12 tracks. It's concise. It's brilliant. The biggest complaint that I have about it is you can tell it was recorded in different sessions about the EQ levels. Like when you go from No Ideas Original,
that's a
how
good point.
The drums kick, and then the level that's on Blaze of 50. Oh, well, it's a drop off engineering wise.
Mm-hmm.
But outside of the sessions being different, oh no, it's a top 5 Nas album easy, possibly top 3 depending on how you feel. Like, imagine if this album had one mic on it. It'd probably be better than Stillmatic. Like
that's what I say about Rise and Fall, because it would very much fit. Like if you could put that at the end of this record, and I would say it might be his second or third best album with just one addition.
I think One Mic is the most personal, like Nas record on Stillmatic. That's why I'm bringing it up on Lost Tapes. Like on a personal, reflective album, if One Mic is on Lost Tapes, like you probably say Lost Tapes is better than Stillmatic.
It's funny that you bring that up, because I'm sitting here talking about Rise and Fall. I remember it was on Amazon. Coop used to work at a record store, so you know all about imports, right? It was a CD it was a Lost Tape CD, and it was in Japan, and it had 3 bonus tracks. It had Rise and Fall, My Worst Enemy, and it had the One Mic remix, right? And
I love
it. And it was sitting on Amazon. I think it was but it was something crazy. It was like $80-some. And I was like, damn, I'm not paying $80-some for a CD. And then sure enough, I was getting ready to bite the bullet and do it, and went back, and it was gone, never to be seen again. But I was just like, yo, I wish I would have caught that, for collector's purposes. But yeah. But what do you got to say to the naysayers that say that this ain't an album for real?
I say they don't know shit.
And a lot of these artists, let's be real, Nas, thank you for putting this concept out there, because you got Care Package by Drake, Untitled Unmastered by Kendrick. Nas started this.
Well, this is what I mean. Not only did he start a whole trend, but listen to what I'm saying. This is stuff that he had in the tuck. Ain't nobody had these types of songs in the tuck.
No.
Nobody. In the history of rap, ain't nobody had this quality of level of music not released. It's like, oh, you recorded that when, and we got it when? It's like, you recorded that 3 years ago?
Yeah.
It's like,
but
really?
And to your point, Coop, that's the thing about it, because this is so unorthodox. It's a little bit clandestine. That's why it's hard for the casual fan to understand it. This is part of discography, because you're talking about songs that were recorded in a specific time frame. And it shows you the range of Nas and what he was thinking about during this time, because he pivoted. He pivoted from I Am. He pivoted from Nostradamus. He damn near pivoted from Stillmatic. There were different versions of those albums that he was working through. But we got in the Lost Tapes are the pivot areas where he was going with it.
Yeah.
You want to know what? These are the types of songs. You have to remember, this is him in his prime. People try to make seem like he's he's a multi-platinum rapper in his prime.
Yeah.
These songs in his prime wasn't about to sell no records. Drunk by Myself, conceptually, is brilliant. Fetus, conceptually, brilliant. Blaze of 50, conceptually brilliant. And the execution is just as flawless as the concept. Ain't about to sell no records. Blaze of 50 ain't about to make you go double, triple platinum.
Oh, not at all.
That's why I always said it was a
Fetus is not about to put a platinum plaque on the table, nigga.
No, that's why I always thought it was a conspiracy that the label leaked it.
That's why these records didn't come out. Fetus is not about to make you go triple platinum. Hate me now, Will.
Not during that time, because the music was
Dr.
different.
Knockboot, Will.
I love that.
But to your point, Coop and Sean, this is I Am saving grace, because this is the only thing that makes me feel comfortable about us never getting that I Am classic double album, is that we got this. Everything worked out how it was supposed to work out. It's like, would you rather have this or that? Like if I Am comes out, we may not get a Battle with Jay. We don't get a Lost Tapes album. We don't, you know what I mean? So it's like things happen the way they were supposed to. So for me, the Lost Tapes album is the saving grace of I Am not coming out in its original form.
So listen,
The
people
battle
are
was
like,
coming.
Coop, you don't like the Untitled album. Go listen to the Lost Tapes and tell me why I should like the Untitled album. Listen to how he's talking on Black Zombie. Listen to how he's talking on
Yeah.
Purple.
To your point, Black Zombies would be the best song on Untitled, pretty much.
Hands down. Hands down. In a landslide, it would be the best song. So it's like the guy that made Black Zombies and Purple tried to make a whole album like it, except for don't none of them records sound like Purple or Black Zombie. Like that's like the Lost Tapes is the reason I don't like Untitled. Like if you want pro-black, socioeconomic conscious Nas, it's like go listen to the Lost Tapes, nigga.
Yeah.
That's what we were lied to buying hair products before my generation started before our awareness started penetrating and the awareness started disintegrating.
Yep.
We potato making liquor just because we some creative niggas. Doing
That was
nothing
a hard
without
work.
something is God's work. You get nothing without struggle and hard work. You want to hear pro-black activist Nas? There it is. It's on Do-Rags. It's on Purple. It's on Black Zombie. He's even talking about, even though my papa was smashing other chicks, I made sure I had a good relationship in it. This is pro-black Nas. This is the Nas that I want to hear rap about pro-black activities.
Real quick, shout out to Eppins, aka LP. He made a crazy good point in the Discord. Like he was talking about Papa was a player, and in hip hop, that dichotomy of making songs about absentee fathers, nobody ever made it from the dad's perspective. Like, you know what I'm saying? Well, like, you know, my dad was doing this, but I get it. I understand, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, how he was moving out here. Nobody has ever made that from that perspective before.
Right.
No.
Everybody kind of talks like Tupac talks. No love for the coward because he wasn't there. He passed away and I didn't cry because my anger wouldn't let me feel for a stranger.
Yep.
Yeah, like that's the archetype that we project as black men in the hip hop sphere when it comes to our fathers. So that's what I mean. Conceptually, this album is like, conceptually speaking, only It Was Written is better conceptually as far as the stuff that he conceived in these songs. Like,
I'm with you.
Some of his best concepts are on here.
Yeah,
like,
I'm with you on that.
The Blaze of 50 story, Drunk by Myself.
Yeah.
Like, think about it. How many rappers in their prime, while they're a multi-platinum rapper, are going to make a song about their alcohol abuse problem?
Yeah. Yo, all the songs we listed, we haven't even said My Way. My Way is crazy.
My Way is crazy.
I think My Way might be one of the worst songs on here. That's why this album is so great.
But it's crazy though, still.
You got No
Ideas Original is my favorite, personally.
Yeah, that's my favorite personal one. Yeah.
So I ranked them in order. I have Do-Rags at number 1 still, but I have No Ideas Original at number 2. And if we're talking objectively, No Ideas Original is it's one of the best mic performances ever.
That's one of my favorite Nas bars. If I'm saying a top 5 Nas bars, that watching for paint chips, don't want no lead in your child, but them gangsters put lead in your child. That's a top 5 Nas bar for me.
So one of my top 5 Nas bars is in here, and it's the one where he says, "What's better protection, God or gun?"
God or gun. Can't decide.
That's a hard one.
Yo, he's spazzed on that.
He went crazy.
Which is that's one of our bar seminars for this week, yo. So check us out, on Twitter, on YouTube community or whatever. That's what we chose for one of our bar seminars.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go to our own personal bar seminars. Hold on, was CJ the Kid sending some money in? Goodness gracious, the papers. CJ Kid with the $2 super chat. Will you guys touch on MC Light's album today? AG did. I'm not gonna lie, I have not listened to Light's album yet, so I can't speak. I haven't listened
to it yet myself.
I'm gonna have to listen to Light's album. I'm gonna listen to Light's album. She deserves more from me than that.
Yeah.
No, we're used to Sean letting the ladies down. I'm not gonna do like that. Wow. The Kid with a $5 super chat. I made a beat using only sounds from the samples, no drums or kicks added. Can I send it to you guys and get your opinions on it? Yes, but I'm gonna tell you now, if you're making a song without a bass line, it better be When Doves Cry by Prince. Otherwise, send it to AG and Sean because I'm going to be hard. Next. Guys, so let's get the Hip Hop Talk Presents Press Play, which is the 7 songs that are in our spin cycle this week. AG, kick it off. Tell me the 7 songs in your spin cycle this week, brother. And Sean, are you going to actually create a playlist of these songs this week like you promised last week?
Yeah, because y'all didn't send it to me last week, but I got it this week. So thank you for sending it in advance.
Okay,
Team,
Sean, you always bringing up old shit. You always bringing up old shit.
Hey, when a team participates, we all win.
I sent you mine, man. I turned in my homework assignment. I'm just saying.
Hey,
okay, I'm not gonna lie. I didn't send you shit. I said it live on TV. You could have went back. You did the timestamps. You could have went back to the timestamp and got the song.
When the team participates,
Coop ain't wrong.
Could have went back and got the songs from the timestamps.
Yo, don't encourage it. Don't encourage it.
You want to know, AG, list your songs while Sean tries to right his wrongs.
Yeah, real quick. My 7, I had 10,000 hours. I'm getting into my R&B bag because, you know what I'm saying, y'all said some R&B joints last week. 10,000 hours by LMA. Yo, Mustard is on an all-time, high right now, coming off of Not Like Us, but my favorite era of Mustard was when he was doing all the LMA stuff in her projects, and that's one of my favorite songs. So I've been going back to 10,000 hours. I've been listening to SZA Kill Bill, and what prompted me to listen to that song, I was talking to my son. I was listening to the Kendrick joint, the Let the Party Die, whatever. Then I realized it had the same melody in it. The beat had the same melody as SZA's Kill Bill song. Like, if you listen to them back to back, same melodies in place. So I've been running that joint. And then also been one of my homies, man, we was having a debate. He just threw out there that he thinks that Michael Jackson's greatest song ever, like, vocally or whatnot, is Lady in My Life. And we was having a debate. And then, I do my due diligence and I go back and spin the record. And I say, you know what? You got a point. You know what I'm saying? I might have to agree with you. So I've been listening to that song a lot. And last week, we had a conversation about Confessions as a major album versus Lil Wayne's Carter 3. And my favorite Usher song ever is on that album, which is Superstar. So I've been running Superstar a lot. That's my let's see, I got like 4, and then 5 was the Big Sean song that I love from his new album that samples Superstar. Is called Who Are You? You know what I mean? So I think they flipped that sample crazy. Love that record. And for my next joint, we were in the Discord and we were having a discussion. I think it came from a Twitter post. I think it was the homie Mad Slander or whatever. He had made a post something about Echo was, the Swiss Beats feature that Nas was on was arguably better than any of the songs from the Nas and Hit Boy run. So it sparked a debate in our Discord, and we were going through which Echo is one of them ones. So it will rank up there. I wouldn't say it's better than some of the joints in the Nas and Hit Boy run, but it caused me to revisit and go back to that song and tap in. So I love Echo, and it's Nas on his storytelling shit once again. And my last record is from our conversation yesterday. I mean, not yesterday, but last pod. We were talking about all the songs that Nas and P were on together and who got who. This is one of my favorite Nas feature verses of all time. It's probably top 5 is Nas on His Mind with Mobb Deep. I've been running that track over and over again. And oddly enough, little fun fact, earlier this week, Halle Berry was on Sway in the Morning, and she confirmed that wasn't just a bar. You know what I'm saying? She really did blow a kiss at Nas at the Barbra Streisand concert. So, Sway got her to admit that. So that's my 7.
So a couple things before you go, Sean. If Halle Berry blows a kiss at me at the Barbra Streisand concert, I'm pushing my date off the balcony. I'm going to take the charge. Pushing her off the balcony. You're gone. Replacing you with Halle. Expeditious.
No. Yeah, I'm Billy Bob Thornton and Monsters Baller. She
getting
I'm the bad guy.
I'm gonna go ahead and stop.
I was about to say, I think AG, I think Echo is a top 50 Nas song, and I mean that like in the highest regard for the song. So I'm not sure if it's better than Store Run, Nobody, or Slow It Down, but I will tell you this: it would be easy top 10 in the Nas Hit Boy catalog. It is one of his 50 best songs in my opinion. Echo is special. Echo is one of his best guest appearances. Like if we're picking, if that's a guest appearance,
yes,
that's top 10 to 15 for him, which is saying a lot.
I think so because it came at the right time. That came right after Nasir came out, and Nasir was like getting mixed reviews and stuff. And the Echo hit, and he reminded people like, "Yo,
Well,
you know what I'm saying? I'm still Nas."
Echo is better than Major Key off the Cali joint, and that's a banger.
For sure.
So his level up was nice this late. So I agree with that. Sean, what's your top 7 looking like?
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry to cut you off real quick. I just want to know if you agree with the Michael Jackson thing or not, Coop. The Lady of My Life joint.
I Can't Help It would be the one I would go to, but I understand why you say The Lady in My Life, but I Can't Help It would be the one.
Okay.
For me, personally.
All right. So mine, starting with 50. As soon as I landed today, I went to the gym, tried to get a good workout in. Heavy push day, so I wanted to get that fully loaded clip. And I love this beat. And I don't know how I stumbled on this, but I love the beat from Fully Loaded Clip. So I had to go there, had to start there. On my flight this week, I listened to a lot of 9 Pound Shadow Bridges. You guys probably never heard that before. I'm so advanced when it comes to music, so you guys, probably haven't heard of it. But anyhow,
I got some homework to do. I'll check it out.
First of all, 9 Pound Shadow sounds like some niggas in Belgium moving cocaine. Okay,
it's possible. It's possible. But I listen to that a lot on my flight. Just something to kind of keep me relaxed, keep me calm, keep me cool. And I listen to it a lot this past couple of days. I also listened to In Vogue this week, man. We listened to that Don't Let Go. I love that video, man. I love that song. That's one of their best songs. Top 3 for me for In Vogue, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I remember when that song first came out. I listened to it one morning because I had a basketball game that night. And I remember listening to it that morning, blasting. And I had my best game of the season. And I contributed to that song. That song had me pumped up.
Why does he always have a random basketball story, Coop?
That's for Coop. Because Coop didn't make the team. So I keep, just, poking the bear a little bit, pause. But Coop, I dropped 31 on that head. On that night. after listening to that song.
Dropping 31 on the team's head off the strip of an In Vogue song is kind of wild. I ain't gonna hold you.
I'm trying to drop it on In Vogue. All 4
I was motivated. I was inspired and motivated.
Perry, Maxine, trying to give it to all of them. I'm pretty certain Viagra exists because it's like, no, I'm trying to hit all 4 In Vogue. Need some Niagara.
Yo.
Not them honey packs that Sean be doing.
Come on, man.
Need that real deal. Need that real deal blue pill when In Vogue showing up. Like when Fife is on Crazy Sexy Cool, and like you said, crush on Dawn from In Vogue. Okay.
Good grief. Yo, but I
was said In Vogue. That's a special place for me.
Yo, I was also listening to I love the intro of Streets Disciple. And as it goes into Message to the Feds, I love, for some reason, I don't know what it is, man. When I'm in the zone, I listen to this intro a lot.
That transition is dark.
That transition is, oh my goodness. So I like to listen to that and go straight into that transition. I love that joint. My other one that I was listening to a lot this week was that Sosa joint from Pieces of a Man. Very slept on album. Came off the heels of the Firm album, if I'm not mistaken. And very dope album, man. I thought this is one of AZ's best albums, to be honest. Production was great. I think this is one of his better produced albums, actually. But I love this album. I was listening to Sosa a lot.
Sosa's my favorite record on that album.
It is, man. I wish it was had more link to it, but pause. But it was a dope song.
It's crazy.
That was crazy. I said pause. Return of the Mac, 7th Heaven. Love 7th Heaven. Rest in peace, Prodigy. I love that beat. Alchemist went crazy on there. I thought this was a great project that they did. We don't talk about this project enough, but I love 7th Heaven. Last one. I don't know why, man. I was listening to New Flame. I actually stumbled on the video.
You listen to a song that had Rick Ross on it?
I didn't play his part though. I didn't play his part.
Look at the progress.
No, but Ross did go crazy though. Ross did go crazy. But I was listening. It's crazy because I was on my flight and I stumbled on the video. And I was like, man, I forgot they had this song. They went crazy on it. And I remember it took me back because remember 8701 when Usher broke out the glitch dance. Remember the glitch dance?
Yeah, that joke was crazy.
He did the glitch
That
dance in
joke
his
was
video.
crazy.
Usher went crazy in this video. But it reminded me, because I remember 8701 came out, my Wiz had dumped me. I was in the middle of
Sounds
basketball
about right.
season.
That sounds
I was
about
in the
right.
middle of basketball. Cool. I was in the middle of the basketball season. She
Right,
was like,
right. You thought you were a
league.
baller. You were acting like a baller.
Cool. I was averaging 22 a game.
Did you do the glitch on the court like the Usher dance?
Yo, AG, here's the crazy thing, right?
I dropped 30 on him. I averaged 22.
Yo, this is my story. Here's the crazy. I'm sharing my truth. Here's the crazy thing. So Usher came up with the glitch dance in 8701. So my Wiz had dumped me playing basketball. We make it up and everything. But anyhow, my homeboy was like, yo, you got to get to the club. You got to get back into the groove. You got to get your mind right. The games are going well. The season about to be over. Got to get you back in the groove. So I was like, yo, what if I learn how to do the glitch dance? Go to the club and bust out the glitch dance. So my goofy ass in the mirror trying to I was like trying to do the glitch dance. I couldn't do it. I couldn't pull it off. So
this show is designed to limit your diatribes, and yet somehow you still find a way.
Yo,
I don't know how we got to Wiz dumping you.
No, I see where he's going full circle.
22 points a game. Are we talking about you don't have to call? Are you talking about the glitch dance?
No, you got it bad. You got it bad.
It was
you got it bad. You got it bad.
Off of 87.
Yeah, Sean does have it bad. Now finish the list.
But he brought it back for the new Flame song in the video.
He brought it
back. This is the longest rap story about an R&B song in fucking history.
No, I see the vision.
Thank you. Coop lacks the vision.
Put my glasses on so I can see. No. Let me put my glasses on so I can see this bullshit. Let me see. Hold on. No. It looked like bullshit to me still.
I know, Coop, I get it. You got the grays and everything. You're getting older. It doesn't click as fast as it used to be.
Hold on. Let's back up. This is not gray. This is white. It's different when it's white, player.
No, it's
ask your auntie.
Probably is.
Ask your auntie and your nana.
Probably is. What you think, AG? Is it different when it's white, AG?
Okay.
Yeah, I can't say nothing. No, I'm over here.
White. It's not gray. Look here. 65, 55, 45, 35, 25. They all want COPP. Okay. So don't even.
I tell them with my salt and pepper, I'm just seasoned. I'm a seasoned vet. That's what I say.
This is grit from God.
Yo, but shout out to the glitch dance. Yo, what you got, Cool?
Yo, that joint. I only have that second to the moonwalk while you playing.
Thank you.
To the moonwalk.
Only second to the moonwalk.
Smoking moon rock.
Go back and watch the video, Coop. I ain't gonna hold you.
I remember the video very well.
AG, this is the same guy that said Carter 3 is better than Confessions. Why are we having this?
No, you said bigger moment. Said bigger moment.
I did.
It's better. Said bigger moment.
It's not even a bigger moment.
Right.
It's not even a bigger moment.
It's bigger for Wayne's career than that was for Usher's career because Usher has had comparable big moments. That's Wayne's biggest moment. That was my point.
It's a diamond album, though.
The diamond album, Cool. It's different. Quantifiable facts is a diamond album.
No. Y'all probably made.
Let Coop do his list. Let the Coop do his list.
They probably engineered that diamond in the factory, nigga. That ain't no Johannesburg diamond. Right?
Lab diamonds.
Okay, so my top 7 this week, Diana Ross is Upside Down. I love Diana Ross is Upside Down. Yeah, there we go. That's the picture. Now, just for those of you who aren't aware, that's why I love Diana Ross is Upside Down, in case you were wondering. Okay, you missed the other picture. The one that's just got her face is the other one too. That's how I know about that record. I was like, who is this? Put her shit on. That's how I found out about Upside Down.
Coop is a horn dog, man.
Shout out to Diana Ross. Look who's talking, honey pack. Look who's talking.
You too old,
Diana Ross,
man.
Diana Ross. Look here, Diana Ross and her date. Everybody, Tracy Ellis, like, oh no, she get it from her mama.
Hey, Mike wrote Dirty Diana about Diana Ross, so I ain't mad at Coop.
Dirty Diana is a song about a groupie. You calling Diana Ross a groupie?
Hey man, I'm just telling what I've heard through the grapevine.
Ooh, it's about a groupie. Dirty Diana is the chick that come and pick up the singers from the club. That's what it was about.
Diana Ross making
quantifiable facts.
Diana Ross making niggas switch religions, having praying to Buddha and shit. You know what I'm saying? Having praying to Buddha and praying to the East 5 times a day. That
Good grief.
Look here, tighter than a house full of bricks. Black Steel in the Hour of Chaos by Public Enemy. It's my second song. I love this record. It's one of the most underrated stories in the history of hip hop because it pretty much talks about somebody who is arrested for not choosing to go to war for this country, like a la Muhammad Ali, and what the incarceration looks like and what the prison system looks like. Another one, kind of stay in the same era, and this came on randomly, but when it came on, I couldn't help myself from playing it over and over again. Love's Gonna Get You by Boogie Down Production. That still might be a top 10 rap story of all time. It breaks down the dichotomy of the inner city black home during the crack epidemic almost better than any other song does. And that includes all the Public Enemy songs. It explains the impoverished nature of the situation. It involves the poor schooling. It involves the pressures to look fly in the black community. It involves the drug trade. It is just a full and brilliant, all-encompassing record. It's got the famous sample that Dr. Dre took. You know, bought myself a Uzi and my brother a 9. You know, so that's been in my playlist this week. Rocket Love by Stevie Wonder.
His notes are top 3. It's a Rocket Love one.
Yeah, Rocket Love by Stevie Wonder. Rocket Love is Stevie's most underrated song, in my opinion. I heard that, Sean. We're just gonna let you be who you are. Damn shame. Rocket Love by Stevie Wonder is actually the interpretation was most notably in hip hop form used on the Cold World on the Gibbs album off of Liquid Swords. So when you're listening to the hook to Cold World off Liquid Swords, that's actually an interpretation of Rocket Love by Stevie Wonder, but it's one of my favorite Stevie songs. I was playing Rocket Love a lot this week. My favorite record of the week, this is my pick of the week, Young Boy by the Clips off Lord Willing.
Why?
You want to know what it is?
What do you mean why?
Actually,
that's why it goes crazy.
This record, more than anything else, encompasses Clips as hip hop producers at their peak. And it's a proper introduction because if I'm not mistaken, Young Boy is literally the second song and the first full song that plays on Lord Willing. So if you don't know who the Clips are, this record actually explains who exactly they are. Like Malice is literally on the first. My family got a tradition of hustling. Little brother, big brother, mother to grandmother. It's tradition. Playing hide and seek. You might find the key lying to the baby saying it's Ajax. So their life story is a little bit more real than your typical rapper. And the way that Pharrell and Chad, drum-wise and construction and hook-wise, gave them a soundscape to dance on for their style of music. I mean, you know, their Dope Boy Talk to me is only rivaled by Jay in terms of how polished the sound of it comes off. And Pharrell and the Neptunes have a lot to do with that. If the Neptunes were doing a versus battle, this would be one of the beats that I would play. Like, this beat is crazy. Like, the horns, the drums, the drums are some of the best drums that you'll find. That's Chad. Like drum wise, it's like Dilla Q-Tip level and actually a little harder in terms of how hard the drums hit. It's one of the best beats that the Neptunes has ever done. Number 6, I'm actually with the Usher kick too, except for I've kept it a little bit more current. Usher featuring LMA, Don't Waste My Time.
Well, you got the LMA in there too, like I had, so that's a dope pick, Coop. Appreciate it.
I love Don't Waste My Time. That's probably my favorite, what I like to call modern Usher record, like where it's like you're not allowed to make love songs anymore because all these niggas and these hoes are ratchet. So this is like the closest thing to it. And I love Don't Waste My Time with LMA. And I love the video as well.
I think it was dope. It didn't get, like, it flew under the radar. I think it should have got more, more notoriety. That was a dope single.
Oh, no. It definitely should have gotten more burn. And my last record is actually White Range off Freddie Gibbs off of one of his old EPs. Look here. Gibbs, man. When I listen to this record, I realize he might be the holder of the most underrated rap catalog in rap history.
Either him or Game.
Well, here's the thing about it. he hasn't been bigger than Game, but he's been more consistent than even Game in terms of the quality of these projects. Because I keep trying to go back to the last time that he made a project that wasn't good, and then I have to keep reminding myself, oh, he's never made a project that wasn't good.
What would you think his weakest is? I think Freddie is his weakest.
Freddie is probably his weakest, but that's saying a lot because I think that's still like borderline 3.5.
Yeah.
He's usually good for a 4-piece, sometimes a 4.5. In the case of like Alfredo and a bandana, a 5.
I think Soul Separately is a 5. Like
I think Sold Separately is a couple of records condensed away from being a 5, but I think it's close. Like, how about this? This Pinata, was it Pinata or Bandana first? Pinata was first, right? Pinata, Bandana, Alfredo, and the Soul Separately as far as 4 album runs in this era is concerned. Oh shit! Show them to me. Who?
Only person is Nas with KD 1, 2, Magic, and KD 3. That's it.
He don't count. We talking about these new niggas.
Oh yeah, it's nobody.
Don't nobody. That's what I'm saying. If you actually look, and this is the real conversation to like actually have one day. So it's like we've done a lot this year talking about Kendrick, Drake, Future, Cole, Sean, ASAP. You understand? We've been talking about these niggas all year. None of them have a better catalog than Freddie Gibbs, and he's been around the entirety of the time that they've all been in the game. Like none of their catalogs is better than his. 0. No, it's not better. Not end to end, because he doesn't have their low points. There is no more. There is no For the Dogs or Mr. Morale or KOD. Like he don't have no albums like that. You understand that? Right?
Yeah, the quality's there, but he's not the household name, so it kind of the weight scales are off a little bit. But I see what you're saying, though. I see the vision.
But if we're talking like, so here's how I always looked at it. One of my favorite J bars. One of my favorite J bars is when he says, "Pull your CDs out. Let's go song for song."
Yeah.
No, pull Gibbs songs out. Let's go song for song with everybody else that I just named. He wins that race, and so that means something in this race still.
Yeah,
so he doesn't. I'm not bugging.
Ain't no way. You just hold up. I know.
He's been the most consistent songmaker of the last 10 years in rap.
I may have heard that wrong.
Nobody for the last 10 years has been as consistent as Freddie. Nobody's been as consistent as Freddie the last 10 years, Sean. Nobody.
Not out of the new era. Nah, I'm
nobody
with you.
The last 10 years has been as consistently great as Freddie. Nobody.
If we say in the last 10 years, it goes to Freddie.
In terms of the quality, there's different stuff. Like here's how I look at it. It's like being the most quality album maker is like being the guy who hits 300 the most. You know what I'm saying? So he may not be Barry Bonds or Willie Mays, but no, that nigga Tony Gwynn though. You know what I'm saying? Or Ted Williams. It's like, he's somebody that's like, oh no, every time he steps to the plate though, he delivers when he steps to the plate and he doesn't strike out.
Him with projects is like Jadakiss with verses.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
If Kiss had Freddie's catalog, we'd be having top 5 conversation about Kiss. How about that? If Kiss had Freddie's catalog, we'd be having top 5 conversation about.
I already got Kiss about top 5, so I'm biased.
Well, everybody knows that you don't know what you're talking about, AG. Okay.
Yo. So wait, well, y'all have. I know I heard that wrong. I'm still jet lagging, so I might be hearing all this wrong.
You didn't hear nothing wrong.
What do you guys have Freddie in your top rappers list? What you have
all time or this era?
How would you say that? I make it easy. This era.
I don't think he's any lower than 35-ish.
But you say
all
he has
time?
But you're saying
all time.
You saying his catalog is comparable or better than those guys in that top 20.
Well, catalog is just one slider. If we're talking all-time placement, that's just one area.
Catalog has to have a lot of weight, though. That's the catalog.
He very much, and I've said this before, he's very much like Scarface, but he doesn't have Scarface's impact or voice.
Right.
Or storytelling. So it's like, but he's the closest thing to face this era has in terms of, if Freddie drops, that's going to be a dope-ass album from a dope-ass rapper that the streets is going to love and that everybody can listen to from beginning to end. And so much like Scarface doesn't normally crack that
Stop it, man.
that Biggie Pop.
Y'all got to stop it. I know I'm hearing this wrong, so maybe I do the playback.
Ain't nobody stuttering.
Ain't no way.
We don't have no speech impediment.
Y'all talking like Freddie is Prodigy right now. Y'all talking like Freddie is, huh?
Freddie got a better solo. Freddie got a better solo discography than P does, and I love P.
I hate to be the one to break it to you, Sean. Freddie got about 4 or 5 projects better than HNIC, my nigga, and I love. Man, he got about 4 or 5 projects better than HNIC.
We take it to station here. Y'all take Freddie Gibbs. I get my man Trife Boogie, and we'll put that to the test.
Like you got
quote Freddie joints. Can y'all quote one of his some of his lyrics? Can I hear some?
She pulled me over. I asked him, "Yo, what's the problem, sir? Just let me go. My license insurance popping, sir. I hate to be the run for smoking an officer."
Oh, he left Earth on that one. He left Earth on that one. Cool. You might be right.
You want to know? Stop the podcast. This nigga's being petty. No. You want to be petty towards the end of the show. You are being petty. You don't want to respect. You don't respect Freddie. You don't respect Freddie's accent.
I respect
Freddie's catalog.
I respect his catalog. I think y'all respect his catalog though.
Let me ask you something. How would you rate Pinata, Bandana, Alfredo, and So separately? Are all of those projects above a 4?
They're right at a 4. So separately might be above the 4. The rest of them, I got them at a 4. We can't.
Okay. What I'm trying to explain to you is that the rest of those niggas,
all those are 5.
The rest of those rappers, the rest of those rapping ass rappers that we just named, Sean, their last 4 projects, their last 4 projects aren't 4s. In some of their cases, you could put their last 2 or 3 projects together, and you still might not get a score of 4 because they've been dropping 2s.
I think he got an average of a 4.5 in those 4 albums. Out of those 4 albums, I think it's an average of 4.5. I think he got 1 4, 1 4.5, and 2 5s out of those 4 albums.
I agree.
But you have him at 35.
How about this?
Range.
Hold on. How about this? His catalog.
What's holding him back then?
Oh, notoriety and impact.
Mm-hmm.
Notoriety and impact.
That's not a good excuse.
He's got everything else. He's got the rap skills. He's got the hook game.
No hits though.
He's got the songs. He's got the albums. There's a reason that people like Madlib and Alchemist want to do whole projects with him at will. That's not accidental.
Mm-hmm.
It's not accidental.
This wasn't on my bingo card though to have a Freddie Gibbs conversation like on the show.
The disrespectful look in Sean's eyes, the nonverbal disrespectful look, is really pissing me off. It's really pissing me off.
I'm glad it's just y'all two this time.
You look smug right now.
I don't.
No. Time out. Coop. He doesn't look smug. He is smug. This him all the time.
There we go. Okay, thank you.
Really? He's smug all the time.
No. AG, I'm glad we came to this conclusion. This has been another wonderful episode of Hip Hop Talks. Make sure you click like and subscribe and share to the page.
We got super chats. Anybody out there can, anybody can quote a Freddie verse. The one that Coop shared was "He left Earth." Can someone send me another one?
That's Scotty Beam off Alfredo, nigga.
Scotty Beam is crazy. But before we get out of here, we do got to talk about our other bar seminar that somebody did leave Earth on.
Let's get the super chats real quick.
All right.
Sean probably gonna find a way to hate on that shit too.
Yo, Mod with the $2 super chat said, "Pieces Lost Tapes top 50 rap album." I think it's in the conversation.
I think it's higher than top 50.
Conversational.
Mad Max, peace to Mad Max, said, "Stop Freddie Gibbs, underground mumble rapper."
Okay, Mad Max, why don't you go back? Whatever podcast you came from before you came here.
Yo, Mad Max again with the $10 super chat said, "The disrespect to Kiss, Freddie don't have a classic song, and we talk about J to the Mwah Kiss of Death. Laugh my ass off, Coop. What's better than HNIC, the drugs?"
Hey, look here. Some of your favorite rappers have made some of their best stuff on cocaine, Mad Max. I hate to be the one to break it to you. Grow up.
I got Kiss top 5, and Freddie's discography is better than Kiss. That's hard for me to admit, man.
You think Michael Jackson was drinking fruit punch and Coca-Cola when he made Off the Wall, nigga? No, he's going to fucking Studio 74. No, mountains, okay? Going skiing. Michael Jackson with Scheme when he made Off the Wall.
Yo, that's crazy. Man, Max with the $2 super chat. Keep it thorough better than any Freddie song. After Keep It Thorough, man, it'll be like it might be a bad matchup for P. I hate to say that, but
listen here. I love P. If you gotta play Prodigy stuff, not Mobb Deep stuff,
right?
Prodigy stuff versus Freddie stuff, you are in trouble, sir.
He is.
I'm not gonna allow you to do that to P. How about that? I'm not gonna let you do P like that.
Wow.
Sean trying to cheat. That's crazy.
How I cheating? Y'all said that he has a top 5 catalog of all time.
So no, I said his solo discography is better than P's solo discography.
And Kisses.
It's average 4.5. 4.5 catalog.
Better than Method Man. His solo catalog is better than Method Man's. Kisses.
It is.
Let's do Method Man versus Freddie.
Facts.
No Woo album stuff.
That's what I'm saying. Take the Woo shit out.
It's just the solo stuff, Sean. Look at that. Look at his face.
You won't be playing shadow boxing, nigga.
Remember when Nas said that about Flex?
Yeah, he did. Yo, Nas have to be wilding out, man.
Yo, man. All right. Well, let's get to that.
It must be a Queens thing.
Yo, Coop, you want to go to that bar seminar, man? We talk about this joint. Dip up out of here.
I gotta go to the bar seminar. Well. Look who showed up.
Yes.
Jermaine Cole with a verse of the year contender type of verse.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
This is your time to gloat, Coop, because Sean been, you know what I'm saying? He been antagonizing you a little bit about the Cole situation.
All I have to say is the same thing that I've been saying since last year. He better make album of the year this year.
Yeah.
Between this verse and what Trey the Truth said about the upcoming album, I think we may actually have an album of the year on our hands. Look here. To quote Pusha T, he need a way out like Nas needed an ether. Like Mike Vick chased like Peter. Okay? That's where he is. That's where he is. He needs this right now. And it looks like he is delivering that. Because never has an MC this great walked away from a potential battle like this. And so never has a great MC been scrutinized the way that he's been scrutinized this year. Not like this. And I've been saying it all along. That nasty bastard R. Kelly can make the Chocolate Factory and make everybody forget that he is a pedophile and a nasty bastard. Do not tell me that J. Cole making album of the year doesn't wash all these sins away. It does. And so what I heard is some proof that he actually might be crafting album of the year between this verse and the Trey the Truth segment where Trey is like, oh no, I ended the album and I done heard some shit and you niggas is in trouble. He said, you niggas is in trouble. And Trey ain't the type of dude that walks around and bloviates about other people's projects. He rarely speaks about other people unless he's collaborating. And I've never heard him talk that way about any other rapper's projects, including Texas rappers who are legends that he has collabed with multiple times.
Mm-hmm.
And so I do believe that this is an album of the year that we potentially have on the way. And I'm excited. And the first thing that I'm going to do is tap dance on Sean's ass when he does make album of the year. I can't wait. I'm waiting for the day to tap dance.
That's crazy.
Tap on your ass.
Oh, it's that.
It's not that type of tap dance. You want to know what? You guys need to get help. Y'all are so childish. You're too grown.
You know, I like Cole.
I'm the one with the quote unquote gray hairs. You're the childish ass niggas. Wrong with both of you.
Guilty.
Childish.
You got me. No, I'm a Cole fan. I hope Cole makes it. Honestly,
no, you're not. No, you're not. You are a hater.
I'm not a hater. I'm not a hater.
You are a fucking hater.
I'm not a hater. I want Cole to succeed. I just got mad when he pulled out the fight. That's all. Because I felt like if anyone could challenge K-Dot, it would have been Cole. I really did. I really felt like he was the one that we want. That's the one we should have gotten, not Drake.
He's a better rapper than both of them. bar for bar, he's a better rapper than both of them.
I prefer Cole over Drake and Kendrick.
He's
Just,
a better rapper
you know,
I do
just
too.
yeah. I've always preferred Cole of the three.
I do too.
Kendrick's a better album maker. Drake's a better hit maker.
Hit
but
maker.
He's a better rapper.
Rapper. Yeah. Nah, I'm with you, Coop. 1000%
If the
on
better
that.
rapper can make the better album, that's actually what would make him the best.
That's why I wanted him to show that. I wanted him to continue to go further with that potential battle. That's that's my only gripe. Other than that, Cole is one of my favorites. I have his catalog over Freddie Gibbs' catalog personally. No disrespect or respectfully speaking.
That's a conversation, but
it's a conversation.
But yeah, but I'm gonna give Cole up, man. The metaphors and the bar work and rhyme schemes that he used in this verse, and I'd be remiss if I didn't shout out Daylight. Daylight got busy too, but it was a different level when Cole got on the mic. You know what I'm saying? And this is a 5 out of 5, 10 out of 10 verse, whatever you want to call it. Like, this has the feeling of the Johnny P. Caddy verse. It has the same feeling.
This is about to say, hold on, Sean. Name 3 better verses this year.
No, this is the one. This is the one.
Name 3 better verses this year.
Yeah, this is the one.
Okay.
Yeah,
this is the one.
Is it the verse? Of the year? Is it the verse of the year, Sean?
To me, it is right now. Yes. Yes.
Yeah. It has that feeling, man, and I think that people are talking about it anyway. But if you don't have that stain that was the apology and pulling out of the fight, let's just say that never happened. This verse gets the love that the Johnny P. Caddy verse gets, like, in my opinion, because they're damn near on the same level.
Mm-hmm.
I like the Johnny P's Caddy record better, but I do believe that the bar work is comparable. And for most people, that was verse of the year that year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Nah, this brought my face back.
Look, the bar work by his competition hasn't gotten better since the Johnny P's Caddy's verse. Just so we're clear, everybody.
Yeah. This got my faith back. It wavered. I ain't gonna lie, it wavered a little bit. It wavered the most after that Griffey feature. I try to act like that don't exist. But
he
listen,
needs to act like that don't exist. He needs to have that pull from streaming platforms.
Yeah, but this right here, yeah, I'm mad that it's not on streaming because I've had to go to YouTube to repeat it multiple times. But
yeah,
it's tough.
The Griffey feature is like a Richard Pryor film in the early 90s. It's like, oh, you just did that for money. You just did that for money. You just did that for the check. You didn't really do that.
No doubt.
Yeah.
No doubt.
All right. We're going to close the books up today, fellas. We're running a little bit over. I want to thank everybody for tuning in. Make sure you click like, share, subscribe to the page. We got a lot of stuff down the pipeline. Sean, next week we got to plug the event in South Carolina next week. LT sent me the flyer. We got to get that plugged up. Shout out to LT. We got merch coming soon. We got all the things coming soon. Shout out to Andrew. Shout out to Stack. Shout out to the home team. Sean, AG, any parting words?
Oh, man. Another one for the record books, man.
Indeed.
Okay.
Indeed. Appreciate y'all.
Okay. You hated on Freddie and Cole today, Sean. Taking notes. I'm making a list and checking it twice. It's almost holiday, nigga.
That Freddie take was crazy. I'm going to go back and look at it.
I mean, you did say you had a white beard, Coop.
Making a list twice.
We're
going to find out if Sean, Honey Pack, been naughty or nice.
This guy right here, man.
You could be arrested for Sean the Honey Pack. Sean the Honey Pack, like the Honey Pack.